welcome to Shredded Cels, episode 24. I am your host, Alex Schmitz, and with me here today is Andrew Gleason.
Hi there.
Matt Lunn.
Yo, yo, yo.
Mark the Shark Goldsmith.
Oh, hey there.
And Kenneth McNulty.
Wobbuffet.
We have a Pokemon joining us today, apparently.
Oh, yeah, we do. It was discussed earlier.
All right. And thank you guys very much for listening. For those of you who are listening to us for the first time, we are a part of TechEds, which is part of AVW Productions, a media production organization here at Ohio University. We here at TechEds, we have a blog, we do video content, we have a whole bunch of podcasts, so we do lots of cool stuff here. But today on Shredded Cels, we talk about anime. And specifically today...
Animu.
Oh, yeah.
who could have ever called it Animu? I wonder. Who would ever say something so stupid?
Me!
Hey, Stanley.
Hey, I've met Stanley. He's awesome.
No, I'm not saying he's a bad person.
Hey, I've been in the bad call of calling it Animu recently. Like, I've been telling people, yeah, I've been watching some Animu.
What was
Who
it?
says that?
What was it you
I
were
do.
saying about a voice actor who pronounced anime really strangely?
I was at OhioCon and the guy who did Dean's voice from Venture Brothers was there, and he went, "I really like anime," and we're like, "What is it, anime?" And we're like, "Anime?" He's like, "No, anime," and he kept saying it like 8 times, like stack.
Yeah, I've heard it like anime, anime.
What are you doing?
It's like ramen. I've heard ramen noodles.
Yeah, like Rayman Legends.
Yeah, I heard like ramen noodles. I was like, no, that's a game.
Like everybody loves
Sorry,
ramen.
Yeah,
Ledge of Legends.
Leg of Legends,
Legu Legends.
Legu Legions.
Like lolling
is
with Goldsmith, perhaps.
Yes.
A teaser for a future video.
That'll be
We'll plug
coming
in.
out in a week or two. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Possibly.
But anyways, we're here to not actually talk about a show this time. We're doing something a little bit unusual. We're doing a top 10 discussion on our top 10 favorite movies and top 10 favorite TV shows amongst all of anime. And we're going to,
All of it.
throw down, discuss which ones we want and sort of come to a vote and come up with the Shredded Cels group top 10 list. So we'll see how this goes.
My fist hurts.
But before we get into that, we're going to talk about the animation we've watched since last time. For myself, I haven't been watching a whole lot. I watched, I was just on YouTube and I watched the first few episodes of Soul Eater. They have the entire thing available on YouTube for free. And the first 4 episodes are available in the English dub. So I was rewatching those. And it's interesting because Soul Eater sort of takes an unusual approach where the first 3 episodes are each just focusing on the different pairings of the
Which
characters.
is cool. I like that.
So it's more like a prologue of 3 episodes before it gets to the real story. But I think it is effective at getting you introduced to these core group of characters rather than trying to fit all 8 of them into a single episode.
Which is going on the new Toonami.
Yes.
The
Yes,
only
you
sad thing
mentioned
is
that.
my favorite side character is the guy with the 2 giant fists, like Earth and Fire. He never got more.
Oh yeah.
He got the glasses. He
I
was
know.
so cool.
I always like the. I forget his name, but he's the priest guy who had blades
Jason.
on his
Not
arms.
Jason.
He
It was
always
Jason,
had the
right?
headphones, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I swear he could
was cool.
lip read. He's like, the guy with the chainsaw legs. I was like, "Can you hear me?" He's like, "Of course I can hear you. Don't yell." I love that. Of
course I got
He's
you.
a guillotine. I mean, how can he not be cool?
Exactly. And then I also watched the first 3 episodes of Sword Art Online, which is the show we'll be doing for next time. You might be able to imagine Matt, our friend Matt over here, does not have a high opinion of that show.
Okay, I know we're not talking about the show yet, but just very vaguely, why, Matt? What's with the already...
Third episode.
Third episode.
Christmas one.
Oh, I haven't seen
It's
it
a
yet.
Christmas special in the 3rd episode.
I watched the first 3 episodes of the show, and I agree the 3rd episode was bad, but you can't say that it ruins the whole show.
Oh, no. It hasn't
Okay.
ruined the whole show, but the last episode I saw was just like...
What is the show about? Is it just like...
It's like an online game.
Oh, so
Yeah.
it's not
Why?
hack?
Why? Just... What about Christmas made it so bad?
No, it's a
the spirit of Christmas?
I won't talk about it because it's not this episode, but or the point is,
Basically, it
there's a
doesn't.
girl who says, "I don't want to die," and the main character says, "Oh, you won't die." For this one episode, you meet this character like, "I don't want to die." "Oh, you won't die. You won't die."
Okay.
And then at the end, guess what happens halfway into the episode?
She died.
She died. and then he feels sad, like I said I wouldn't let her die.
So it's the
I
feels.
did. And then of course he gets on Christmas Day. He gets this little message, thing, and it's her voice saying, "Don't blame yourself because I die. I knew I was going to die. I'm so sorry." And it's just like,
Was it that
no,
happy?
you don't do this.
Was she that happy when she said it?
No, but the point is,
die.
the point is, this was just a random girl from one episode, and then she sends this message,
Like it means nothing
Well-
because it was just like a one-off. Like
I
one
know,
episode
and
character.
apparently in the original visual novels, this is just a small side story. It's not meant to be anything big, but the problem with the anime is all these side stories got adapted as full-length episodes when they're really, something that could be done in like 10 minutes.
Okay, wow.
So
Depression.
that's why I was
So-
like,
Yeah, but
Table flip.
I will say though, the 2 episodes before that, the intro episode and episode 2 were both pretty good. Had some nice action in them. Although I would agree, episode 3 very lacking in any sort of emotional feelings really for the characters because you literally just met this girl. So kind of a problem.
if
Makes
it
me a
were
little bit
longer,
worried.
like 20 episodes worth, then yes, then
Well,
you could.
it
pull
doesn't
this
even
out
need to be
part.
20 episodes worth. Even if it was 5
Few.
episodes.
Few. Okay, it'd be whatever.
but more than half an episode
Okay,
for sure.
My constipation has gone away. We're moving on.
It's okay.
Good
It
to
has
hear.
been passed.
Good.
All right. And that's pretty much it for me.
Feel regular?
What about you, Andrew?
Well, we finished the Digimon first season,
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
which I did not remember how awesome that was, but like, it was actually good.
What did you like about it so much?
Oh, it's
Just a short little.
Oh, I think I'm bringing it up for our TV show thing because I'm just
Oh, okay,
crazy
that
about it.
works.
So I'll
Yeah.
talk about it then.
Okay.
But yeah,
Just
I've
one
been
word to
digging
sum
it.
up the whole series. One. And Digimon doesn't count.
No,
Digital monsters.
can I use
Digimon.
two words?
If they can combine them into one word, yes.
Infrared tidal waves.
I like that. There you go.
Nice.
Enough said.
Yeah, I remember near the end of the show, they have that fight with the clown guy.
Yeah.
And that whole sequence of events is actually pretty awesome.
Wait, you mean Roxo?
No, it was like Piedamon or
Yeah,
something
yeah.
like that.
Wait, was he
Piedmon.
environmentally friendly?
He was basically like the Joker.
Oh, that's sweet.
The Joker in
Yes.
Digimon form.
That sounds awesome to me.
It was, and that's basically been it. I've been kind of busy.
Okay. Well, what were you going to mention about Digimon? Matt?
Apparently, the 6th season is going. Not that
What?
anyone. Is going on Nickelodeon.
Wow.
What?
Really?
Wait, wait. What do you mean?
There's a 6th season of Digimon that is going on Nickelodeon.
As in, like they're coming out with another, like a brand new.
Well,
Yeah,
Season?
the last one I watched was the 4th season, and I knew there was something that came after that, but at that point, I really didn't care about the
Yeah.
franchise anymore.
Huh. Okay, that's interesting.
So they're making a new one just to put on Nickelodeon? Is
Yeah.
there, they trying to combat
well,
Cartoon
I mean,
Network?
if it's good, then okay.
Yeah,
but-
yeah, but they don't have anime. It's like they're combating Cartoon
Well,
Network. Is they
but,
yeah,
it's called Digimon Fusion.
Wait, but
that
is
sounds
this
about right.
is this something that's already come out in Japan? They're just dubbing it, or is it
Yeah,
brand
it's
new?
getting, it's getting dubbed over here.
Okay, that's what I
Okay.
figured.
I know
People
they
say
have
it's
like
good?
7 seasons in Japan or something.
Yeah.
they always
Yeah.
have more in Japan. It's,
It's
always
popular.
double.
I mean, if it's a popular series, they are not going to let it die easily.
Oh no,
no.
but it's just surprising to see the actual Nickelodeon channel pick it up.
Yeah,
so.
I've never seen anime and Nickelodeon. That's weird.
That is weird. I mean, other than like Avatar, I guess. If
I
you
mean, that's
consider
American
that, so-
animation, though.
Yeah, I guess I was thinking Disney XD had Naruto for a while, but that's Disney, not Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Still,
Right.
that's weird, but you're right.
Matt, how about you?
Well, let's see here. What have I been watching recently? I've been watching Welcome to the NHK, which I would love to say some lines, but I can't because this podcast, gotta keep it G. But
Well, not
you
G,
censor them?
PG at least.
PG, well,
PG-13.
I can't go.
I'll censor them for you.
Everything isn't like a rainbow and sunshine.
Oh no! I mean, still watching that a few episodes here and there. That is a hilarious series because this main character thinks there's a conspiracy everywhere. Like everything is a conspiracy. The fact that you're staring at me might be a conspiracy.
Okay.
That you're trying to come kill me now because you just stared at me. So that's been good. Been watching. I watched an episode of One Piece.
An episode.
An episode.
Singular.
What episode are you on?
I am in 463, so I am right when Whitebeard's in front of Marine Ford and like, hello, guys.
You're like right at one of the best parts.
I know.
Because then the actual like good
Oh, yeah,
stuff
the,
starts.
Oz's relative,
Oh,
the
or
big
Yep.
Ors, has just
Ors Jr.
Ors Jr. has just kind of walked into the scene, and Gecko Moria's like, I want his corpse. So
Oh my.
Wow.
He sounds violent, guys. Should you be watching this? This show sounds inappropriate. It's about pirates and cutting people and death.
Very appropriate.
Yeah, well,
Super
but
appropriate.
the joke is that nobody ever dies in One Piece, with the exception of 2 characters.
I wonder who those could be.
We'll go into
I
that
wonder what's
here.
going to happen. I bet Ace gets saved. He's gonna live, and him and Luffy are going to be brothers forever.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens. Moving on.
And I saw the first episode of Psycho Pass, which is fantabulous.
Yeah,
That sounds
I've
fun.
heard nothing but good things about that one.
It's dark though. Like it is creepy, dark. Computers are kind of the judge of the world. Like if you're emotionally unstable, this is the premise. Basically, a computer will say, yes, this person can be completely blown up and terminated because they're not emotionally stable for society.
So they have the final
Wow.
say.
That sounds
So many people would just be
Yeah.
gone.
Yes, because basically this computer believes that people are too emotional in the future. So basically, if you reach a spike, it'll... it's really dark.
Wow, so if you get
Wow.
really mad, it's just
Just like,
boom.
just
It's
like
like
for
the
5
ma-
seconds.
Because they have these guns that you like. They don't have guns where you can just fire them off. These guns have computers built in them, and they can, when you're aiming at someone, it'll judge. Should the safety be released or should it not be? Like, and it has 2 tiers. It's got a tier where like, oh well, we can tranquilize the
Set
person.
phasers to stun.
Yeah, like to stun, or if they're like above the charts on something, it's
Shoot
like
to kill.
shoot to
That's
kill.
so
And no,
awesome.
they're like it's not like, oh, they're just dead. There's the body. Like it shoots them, and their whole body like blows up like a giant balloon and just bursts.
What the?
That's like the
Okay,
Matrix and Terminator in one.
So what if
Jeez,
someone's
that's-
just really happy, like they're just elated?
Okay.
Then
I
they
don't think-
die.
I don't think that's a problem. It's whenever
Okay.
it's something bad.
Negative. So at least it's
Negative.
not corrupt yet.
Okay, no, I
Yes, but the
Yeah.
point is,
yeah is the key word.
It's very well hinted that this thing that rules society
Skynet.
is...
Yeah,
Well,
well,
yes.
and
For Skynet.
one of the primary reasons I want to watch this show is because I know that Geno Urobuchi is the writer on it, the same guy who wrote Madoka Magica and Fate Zero, 2 of my favorite anime.
Also,
like,
Dead Man
ever.
Wonderland, Ghost in the Shell,
Oh yeah.
Steins Gate. So
Wait,
it's
he
got
wrote all of those?
Not all of those. These are creative people. These are all
Oh,
this is the
okay.
creative staff that work
What's
on
Fate Zero
Psycho
though?
Pass.
That sounds pretty cool.
You definitely were on that podcast, were you, Kenny?
Of course not, man.
Oh yeah, real quick. Matt mentioned this to me earlier. Fate Zero has gotten an English dub.
Oh, it's going to, but the fact... Here's the thing. The reason I told you I'll watch the dub, because the chances I'll ever get to see the dub, I'll be like in another year or 2. Because it's got to go on stupid Viz Media's new Neon Alley, which is their like paid special PS3 channel. Like you pay like $5 a month, and you get to watch this special television channel on your PS3 that has all this dubbed anime.
I know One Piece is on it.
Yeah, but
You can just watch them online.
I don't want to watch the English version of
Well,
One Piece.
if you don't want to wait to watch the show, then just watch it in Japanese.
No,
it's fine in
no.
Japanese.
Now I know that Jameson Price is your writer guy. I've got to see it because Jameson Price is my hero.
I know he's your hero, but can't you just rewatch the show?
That would be.
It's not how it works.
It's not how it works, man. Because then I wouldn't appreciate the show. But the point is it's got a good cast. It's from the California cast that barely get to do anime anymore. So,
Well,
Solid.
good. Anything else then?
no, that's about it. Other than like what we've already covered, Digimon's going to the Nickelodeon. Not the original, sadly.
I
so,
know.
but something Digimon. Soul Eater's moving on to Toonami and Toonami. And yeah,
Okay.
Mark is good.
Mark, what have you been watching?
M. Goldsmith.
I watched a bit of One Piece.
Oh yes.
What a
So, Kenny-
surprise.
So Kenny, what have you been watching? like literally, I haven't watched that much this week. So, One Piece basically.
I'm about the same. I watched a bit of Steins Gate and found out that guy was a dude.
Oh, yes. We just
Yes.
watched a little clip from an episode
That was-
right before the podcast.
That was interesting.
That and I know it's not anime, but it's cartoon. I just the new installment of Bravest Warriors came out this week. I've been waiting for 2 weeks. I lost it.
nice.
It was the Serial Lord. It was so good.
I have not watched it yet, but is it
Serial
good?
Master's hilarious. She has daddy issues.
Thank you.
It's so good.
Wait,
You
By-
just watch it.
by she, do you mean
The Serial Master.
wait, the Serial Master's a girl?
Yes.
Is it Captain Crunch?
Okay, wow.
You just gotta say
this
this.
is gonna be really interesting. Okay.
And Danny's awesome in that episode. You'll like him.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you guys haven't watched any of Sword Art Online for the podcast next week, huh?
Not recommended.
Nope. I taken his judgment. He told me a week ago. He like grabbed me from a corner, looked in my eyes, said, "Don't watch this." Put some tag on me, and I forgot who I was for an hour.
I see.
Matt's an assassin, by the way.
Well,
I'll get on it.
All right, good, because you're one of the people who voted for it, so you better watch it. Jeremy and I want to watch Steins Gate, but no, we
I don't watch Steins Gate.
Because Ruka is a dude.
And
don't
Dr.
forget-
Pepper.
That's what
And
we're
chicken
going
tenders. When you're on a chicken bender, grab a box of chicken tenders.
Da, 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 da.
Sorry, I really love Steins Gate. I'm on like episode 15 or 16 right now because I'm watching it with a group of people, so I can't just speed through it. And it's pretty good. It gets intense.
Yeah,
Intense,
I definitely
like
want
circuses.
to do that for like circuses.
Yeah, intense.
Kenny. What am I gonna do with you?
So punny.
I thought of a lot of things, but
All right. Well, now that we're past our little animation discussion and those horrible puns, we can move on to our
animated, those
discussion of our top 10 anime TV shows.
10 anime!
wow, zing. Boop.
Yes. We don't have the budget to like do some sort of special like audio insert.
We are our
thing,
own
so-
effects.
Yes,
Yes.
we do it.
Wait, we can hire that one guy from Police Academy who does all
Oh
the
yeah.
impersonations. Yeah.
He was in Spaceballs. Yes.
Yeah, he was. He's like, our radar's jammed. Sorry.
So,
All right then. So how we're going to start this out first is we're going to go around the table and everyone's going to say what their top 3 anime are.
do we want to do that at the end after we've established what the official Shredded Cels top?
No, I think this will give everyone a good idea of what each of us like, and then we'll go around and throw in our towels, for like what shows we really want to push, and then we'll move on from there.
So top 3 anime.
Yes.
Okay.
Anime.
Okay.
Wait, movies or just anime shows?
TV shows.
And then we're doing top 3 movies. Okay, cool.
We're doing movies later. Maybe.
Cool.
So I guess I'll go ahead and go first.
Cuckoo for
What did I
Cocoa
write down?
Puffs.
Okay. For me, it's number 3, Madoka Magica, recent edition, but I really love it. Number 2, Cowboy Bebop, classic. Has to be up there.
What could be number 1?
My number 1, I don't know.
I bet it's Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Oh, 100% of this. Shinji, best character ever.
yeah.
That's a lie.
Ha.
Is it for Oscar then?
No. I don't know. It's hard for me to choose just one anime because I love
have to pick
so
just
many.
one.
But if I had to say one, I'd probably say Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. What? I love that show so much. And
Interesting.
from the manga, to its transition into the anime, like just awesomeness all around. Can't complain. Andrew, what about you?
All right, so going up 3, my third favorite probably has to be Angel Beats. Because I really, really like that. I liked it. I really priceless. He's bleeding over there. He's having appendicitis.
See,
It looks like you shot him, but
I know.
but it's good because he has a red shirt on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So we won't see the blood.
we
Yeah, it's
can
good.
we can feign ignorance. Just
Exactly.
let him be.
Well, he fell asleep.
he's
It was
supposed to
weird.
die anyways. But still, it sounds like you physically shot him with your words.
I
so-
know, right?
It looked like it
Are
was.
you okay?
Matt, do you need a
That was
resuscitator or
appendicitis.
like defibrillator?
I'm going to see if I can make it next to the next 2. I'm going to try.
Oh, you're not gonna like number 2 then, because I gotta go with Digimon.
Digital Monsters.
Good.
Love with
Good.
that. And then number 1 all-time favorite, it's gotta be Gurren Lagann.
Gurren Lagann.
I love it.
Thank
right.
you so much.
Okay,
All right.
we have stabilizers are up.
Just, I know you weren't able to be on the Angel Beats podcast, Matt. So just in a short paragraph, tell us why you have this hatred for the show.
The execution of the show is flawed. I do not I disagree with the cute pink the pink girl.
Yeah.
The
he
humor
was-
is not funny. The jokes get quite old. And the other major problem was I was expecting an action show. And I didn't know what kind of show it was. So by the time it went through, it's like, oh, this isn't the show I was looking for. And when it came to certain roadblocks of, oh, this character's got to make a decision, I bet they'll do this, they would always go and pick the decision I didn't
But
think.
wouldn't you say though that maybe one of the reasons you did, like, I understand the flaws and things with the show because the show does have flaws, but maybe one of the reasons you dislike it so much is because you came in thinking it was going to be something else.
Yes, and but the problem is because I was so upset from what I thought it was going to be. I never want to see it again.
At least it's not Angel Cop.
Yes, that is good.
Yes.
So
You have to admit the music's great though.
yes, the opening theme I love. I will give it that, and the animation is kudos.
Can you
I love
sing
the
a
animation.
little part of it? I never heard it.
I don't know the
What?
song.
You've never.
I never seen Angel Beats.
Oh.
Good. Stay.
You should watch. You should watch the opening at least.
My point is, the first 3 episodes
Yeah.
do really well. It's just once you hit episode 4, that's kind of like the Titanic hitting its iceberg. That's the baseball episode. It's like, oh, okay. You know, I can deal with this. When in reality, the boat is already sinking, and you just don't really realize it. And I keep watching. I'm like, no.
See, I was the other way around because I really didn't like the front half, but I think it picked up a lot in the back half, and I started to get attached to the characters, and I really especially the main character. I liked a lot.
Like the early episodes, like when I rewatched the show, you know, the early episodes contain a lot more action and less plot, you know, whereas the later half has more plot, you know, more character development and less action. But I actually sort of like that in the last half, you know, because you get to see these relationships develop and stuff.
I like the dog though. He's probably the best character.
There's no dog.
Nice try, Kenny.
I'm trying to
All
see
right.
if I can slip it.
So close.
Yes. All right. So Matt, why don't you tell us what your top 3 would be?
Mark will disagree with my first one, but no chicken.
What?
Not Bacano.
Okay.
My first one.
Wait,
my third. My
Okay.
third.
Okay.
First third.
It's number 3. Number 3
No,
is
I won't.
Bacano.
If you put it in number 1, I would have disagreed with you. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's number 3, so
Bacchus
okay,
survived.
it's good. You're saying it's good.
I really enjoyed it. I mean, yeah, it's something you've got to see the whole way through before it's like, okay, I get this, and then it makes all sense, and it's like, Second one, I'm going to agree with you, Mr. Schmitz, that
Bebop.
it's Bebop.
Das Bebop.
Got some Bebop. And Ein brought me
Yes.
to the world
There's
of
the
corgis.
dog, Kenny.
There's the
I
corgis.
understand
I was trying to
Because of
slip in there.
Cowboy
Magic
Bebop, I
corgi.
love corgis, and I will forever be
Dude,
a corgi
Corgi's
guy.
the best. Have you seen there's websites, man. There's a
Oh.
Corgi cam. You can watch Corgi puppies.
There's corgi cams,
Oh,
there's
God.
corgi tumblers, there's corgis everywhere.
I don't know. Our dog at home is a husky, and she's pretty cute.
Oh, I
so-
love huskies too. Anything that's a
Man.
real dog, but we won't go into discussion with real dogs and dogs. We don't want to offend.
Like
you.
like polar bear dog.
Well-
Remember that discussion?
My friend's rule is if you can punt the dog, it's not real. My dog's like this big, and I was like, Jimmy, you'll be fine.
No, I believe Chihuahuas, poodles, and things like that.
He's not
Let's see.
Chihuahua.
And
And-
Shih Tzus. No, I don't have.
Are you going to name a certain Gynex show at number
Oh,
one?
yes. Number 1 would be a Neon Genesis Evangelion. Good thing. Hey, have you seen it before? You just hear it.
Dude,
No, it's not.
It's
It's
Jeremy.
because I was expecting a different answer, and I don't like
Oh,
the answer you gave.
I'm sorry. Hey,
It's okay.
Neon Genesis is the best anime, though.
Neon Genesis is the anime that made money for Gynax to make Gurren Lagann. If
And it's the first anime I ever saw, so.
oh, wow. Point is, without
That's a
Ava,
lie.
you don't have Gurren Lagann.
What is with the
It would be
accent
Gurren
you're
Lagann.
I
taking?
don't know. I like the accent.
And listen, as much as, you know, Jeremy and I bash, you know, Evangelion, I can't speak for Jeremy since he's not here, but at least for me, I don't think Ava is a bad show. I think it's a good show, you know, that had the potential to be great, but
And then
that
it
just
did.
completely fumbles both at the end, both within the end of Evangelion and the ending of the TV show, and then as well as just Shinji as a character in general, just because he's
mean,
so detestable.
Everybody knows Shinji's the worst.
Like
He
I,
accepts
like
it.
I was saying at dinner with you, one of the reasons I love that show is that everyone is a horrible person.
Yeah,
there
nobody's
is
good in that
no
show.
one there is no one in that show. I mean, other than Pen the penguin.
Pen's the best sidekick ever.
Penguin?
Yeah,
Let's watch
penguin named Pen.
See,
dude.
because me and my friends were talking, we're like, that's one of the 2 shows we want to pick up. Like,
You
we're
mean the
gonna watch
number
it.
1 show you should pick up?
Well, it was between that and Fate Zero, so we're fighting.
Oh wait, for Ava?
Yeah,
Like,
we're trying
just
to
buying
watch
it?
a new anime to
Ava?
watch.
Watch Fate Zero first, and I can get you my DVDs.
DVDs.
Because I have the director cut episodes, and there's a certain way you need to watch it all. Just to, I mean, near the end. Just to,
It's snazzier that way.
Okay.
it's snazzy. that way.
Snazzier
Yeah,
that way.
but just
All right.
you have to go into the end of being aware that they basically completely ran out of a budget, and so there's lots.
Well,
of
if you
cutting
actually
of
watch the show from that
animation.
perspective, you'll notice from around episode
Well-
12, the series, and this is one of the things. The series starts off of a very action-y sort of based, you know, angel monster of the week, fight it. But then once you get to the halfway part, they lose their budget, and so it becomes more of a psychological series because you can show psychological stuff on the screen a lot easier than, you know, robots, you know, smashing.
I still give points for adapting that easily, though. So in my opinion, it's still my favorite. So I'd say they did a fantastic
So-
job.
Okay.
I see.
Just made a
Real
spoiler
quick,
in
Mark,
the
what,
podcast.
what were you thinking he was going to say for number 1?
Gurren Lagann.
I liked Gurren Lagann. My roommate just finished that anime, so he actually really liked it. So
Oh, good.
So
Nice. I wonder what Mark's number one is going to be.
I wonder.
Great man.
Well, why don't you start with your top number 3?
Okay, my third one would have to be Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood.
FML.
Good choice.
Yep, definitely one of my favorites. I love the characters, and the ending of the show is really what got to me. Like the last 5 episodes were all fantastic.
Well, for me, it's like the last 12 episodes because they really take the time to build up this whole final conflict in Central, and then it becomes this epic battle.
Okay, you know what I'm saying though.
But no. Especially like for me, the last like 3 episodes or so, I've probably rewatched more than any others.
Yeah. And then my second one would have to be One Piece.
Good choice.
The thing with One Piece is that because of how long it is, it varies in quality. So that's really weird because some of the newer stuff, I actually prefer some of the older stuff as opposed to the newer stuff.
Yep.
Just in animation, the style that they're choosing. In some ways it's better, but in other ways it's the quality doesn't seem to be quite there. Do you know what I'm saying?
On that Mark, I mean, like I was talking with Alex, I mean, I'm going to pitch that for, the Shredded Cels top 10 just because, you know what? I have sat through 400 and I forget what number right now. Point
400
is
some episodes.
460 something
Yeah.
episodes. And there's a lot of dedication. I mean, and to agree, yes, there are areas where it's like, I really don't care. Like, I found myself through Thriller Bark kind of just like, I want to get through this. Thriller Bark was...
Thriller Bark was actually one of my favorites, though.
Well, I've heard...
See, I like Gecko Moria, the actual villain. I like him, but when it goes to like more of the zombies and stuff, and it's a little stretched out for my liking. But out of the Shibuya, my 2 favorite...
Shishibukai.
Okay, I'm gonna say the English version, the 7 Warlords, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
My 2 favorite have to be Crocodile and Gecko Moria.
Mm-hmm.
Those are my 2 because I love Gecko
Doflamingo.
Moria.
I love
cool.
I love all the yep. I love all the team fighting that happened in Thriller Bark, but
Team fights are important.
basically the character models improve a lot more later, but the fight animations aren't quite as good as it was in the older episodes. But yeah, I mean, One Piece is a great show, but just go watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, around the time the anime was getting to Thriller Bark was around the time that they were really starting to catch up to the manga, and that's where they slowed to like doing 1 chapter an episode. Like I think that's around that time frame.
In my opinion, the best animations were from Enies Lobby to Thriller Bark. That's where the animation peaked. You can disagree with me on that, but that's what I think.
I'd have to really go back and look at it because, like I said, Water 7 right now is one of my favorite arcs.
Well, okay, I'm sorry. I always include Water 7 with Enies
Enies
Lobby.
Lobby.
So
Okay.
Water 7 to Thriller
I could
Bark.
agree with that.
Hey, regardless, I'm sure you guys will find that One Piece to get it into top 10.
So that's my second. And then my number 1 is Gurren Lagann, obviously. And it's
I
just
understand.
One Piece has made me like.
Did you hear one of our people who's never been on this thing, Eric Adams, just started One Piece.
Really?
Oh, really?
Oh,
So
good.
he
I'm
is
so happy.
He's already up to the Buggy the Clown arc.
You
so-
converted a Jay Connor away from Fairy Tale to One Piece?
There's actually not that many fairy tales, so
Oh,
next,
good.
next year
heard
I'm
that
going to
show-
try the One Piece.
Can we please get One Piece? That'd be so good.
What do you mean get One Piece?
As in, like, show One Piece.
Oh, at the Friday shows? Yeah, I'm going to push it.
Yeah, exactly. The thing with One Piece and Gurren Lagann being in my top 2, One Piece made me cry over a ship.
Yes.
I don't
Impressive.
think any anime or any other show has ever made me feel so emotionally attached to an object that just automatically puts One Piece above so many other shows.
The only other thing I can think of is is the Castaway. When Wilson drifts away.
Wait. They
It's
have a
Philip,
Wilson.
and he's a nickel. A shiny nickel.
and then Gurren Lagann, oh my gosh, it's literally a show telling you if you believe you can do it, you can do it. If you believe in yourself and you have enough willpower, you can accomplish anything. And I'm like, wow, the show itself is ridiculous, and it's funny and awesome because of how ridiculous they are. But then when you look at the fundamental of what the show is basically saying, it's really inspiring, and that's like my favorite part of the show.
Right. Well, like you've said before, whenever I rewatch the last episode when Simone's making his big speech there right before he strikes the final blow against the spiral guy,
The anti-spirals.
Yes, the anti-spirals. That's it. That whole speech about the dreams of the past and the hopes for the future, intertwining into a double helix, going towards tomorrow. Like all that is just like that's really what the show's like all about at its like philosophical core.
Yep. Also, I don't know about anyone else, but I'm not going to say spoilers because honestly, this show has been out for so long. There's no more spoilers.
Well, one thing I did want to mention, I forgot to mention it earlier. We'll be discussing obviously a lot of anime on this particular episode, so just give a spoiler warning before you give a spoiler, just in case somebody doesn't.
I'm not spoiling any like giant thing. I'm just saying like basically, I don't know about you guys, but when I watched the first like 10 episodes of Gurren Lagann, I was not expecting them to go from being essentially moles underground to space.
Well, but don't you remember the very first episode? There's that flash of Simone in space on the giant ship.
Yeah, but like I forgot about it by like episode 5.
I kind of forgot about it too,
See,
to be honest.
I did the same thing. I forgot about it, and then when I rewatched the series, I was trying to show somebody this.
You're like,
I'm like, he says that. He says all the stars are my enemy. And I paused it at that moment. I turned to the guy I was showing him, like, okay, so one thing you have to understand about the show. He's not like joking. He's serious. He's going to kill all of them.
All of them.
I think I'm the only one that hasn't seen that show.
You are.
It.
I've never seen it.
It's on
You're
Hulu.
like it, Kenny.
It's pretty good.
My friend had my future roommate has the first two bits on DVD.
Well, Marc has a whole bunch of them on DVD.
I
Yeah.
have the whole series on DVD.
I don't have the whole series, but basically
one up.
there are very few shows that I actually get like if you bash a show, I actually get mad at you. Like I feel like I'm physically being attacked by you.
Yoko sucks.
One Piece, One Piece,
Yes.
and Gurren Lagann are those two shows where like I think they are fantastic.
Gurren Lagann has people with faces that look weird.
What? I said it. I don't know what their faces look like. They're spirals, right? Isn't that the point of the show?
No.
They have spirals in their eyes, but that's a whole other.
Spiral
Seriously?
power.
That's so cool.
Just watch the show. Just kidding.
Yeah,
Watch
you really
it.
do
It's
need to watch
Kenny,
it.
fantastic.
what's your top 3?
Well, all right. You guys sitting down for this? All right, good.
I'm ready.
I'd say number 3 is Cowboy Bebop because I love that show. It's fantastic. Art direction, the music, everything. Love it.
Bebops.
The Bebops. I like that's a show my friend had told me about when I was in 3rd grade. I distinctly remember 3rd grade, one of the first animes I'd ever heard of. And he had a book we read. I never saw it, but he told me everything about it. And I'd always dreamed of watching it. So when I got older and had the internet, I was
Did he
like,
spoil everything for you?
He just showed me the characters. That was it.
Okay, good.
I don't even know if he'd seen the whole series. He's had a book and it was cool. He's like, "You ever heard Cowboy Bebop?" I'm like, "Is that a dog?" So it was really cool. Is that a dog? And I loved it. And that series just beautiful.
I
Number
love dogs.
2, it's the first anime I've seen all the way through. Like my first anime that got me into it. And I just loved. I'd have to say Dragon Ball Z. Judge me as you will, but that had the most epic moments I've ever seen in any anime, and it's one that got me.
It's
into
what
it.
got a lot of people in.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but go ahead.
I was just gonna say my cousins and I in Mexico, we would actually all get together in like a little dark room, and like
just sounds-
eight of us would just sit like on the bed and turn off all the lights and pretend we were watching Dragon Ball Z like in a movie theater. It was awesome.
Dude, we just pretend we were playing it with the characters in my backyard and beat each other up.
Yes.
Because just the moment where Gohan takes down Cell in the Cell Saga with one arm Kamehameha wave, that just literally blew me away when I was a kid. I was like, I want to.
So wait, were you watching the TV and it just happened and you were literally like blown away by
Yeah, I
the
was like,
awesomeness?
Yeah, I couldn't. The thing is, I count the series as my favorite, like from the beginning, Raditz all the way up to Cell Saga. Boo was aight, and then GT I don't even talk about. But Cell Saga, my favorite arc would have to be probably Cell arc, that and Frieza combined. That's that whole all the movies.
I mean, I enjoyed DBZ. Like, I'm pretty sure all of us here could probably say that we watched DBZ, as kids.
Nope.
Not you, Matt?
Nope.
I didn't watch a lot of
good.
it. I watched a little bit, like an episode here.
I did.
I came late to the anime bandwagon. Like I didn't even. By the time I started watching Pokemon, it was already like between 2nd and 3rd generation.
Jeez.
Wow.
So I came
VHS
late.
of a Pokemon. You know the one where they're on the ship and it's
I
sinking?
was late
I got the
to
VHS
this
of that.
game.
I remember that.
I don't know. Okay, that
But yeah, Dragon Ball Z obviously has lots of faults, you know, but I've reread the whole manga at least
Manga's
twice
really
at this
good.
point.
I like it.
And, you know, it does obviously drags and drags and drags at certain points, but it still is some of the greatest, you know, like classic moments in any anime ever, and it's what basically inspired every shonen series to come after.
I was gonna say the main character is Goku, but in different forms.
It depends.
They have
like,
a lot of the same personality.
like Ichigo and Naruto definitely have some similarities to it, and so does Luffy to an extent.
every main
But
character in the
notice
show
how
has
those
some kind
two
of
aren't
traits.
on anyone's tops list here.
Yeah, well, it's just
All I'm
because we don't have
saying
any.
is just because Goku's dead for 20 episodes at a time doesn't mean it drags. Even
Right.
though it does.
Well, I'm not talking about that so much. I'm talking about like where he fights Frieza
Oh,
for
yeah.
like 30 episodes. You know, and
just take a
Frieza
while.
says like the planet's gonna blow up in 8 minutes. You know, 5 episodes later,
8
it's
minutes
still
is 5
going on.
episodes. Don't you know, Alex?
Okay, all right. So,
You didn't let me say number one.
oh shoot, I forgot.
No, it's
What
all
is-
right. It's
what
too
is
late
your
now.
number one?
What could it be?
I would have to say it's almost a tie because it's my original favorite and new favorite. Evangelion and Gundam were like my two favorites. Gundam Wing, like to be specific. But Evangelion's probably my favorite ever. All of that.
Which one was Gundam Wing?
I love Gundam Wing.
No, which one was that?
Oh, Gundam Wing is one with Hiro Yui's the main character, and they had like
The pilots, there's
Yeah.
5 of them that land on Earth. I tried watching it over winter break. I got to episode 16, and I'm just like, I'm
It's-
struggling.
yeah. I remember when I was younger, I could bear it more than I could now. So the memory of it. And I just want to make an honorable mention. The show that made me laugh harder than any other show was Boba Bo Bo Boba Bo.
Never watched
throw
that
that out
one,
there.
but I know people
Funniest
here
anime
seem
I've
to
ever
like it.
seen.
Yeah. Alrighty then. So now we all have an idea of, you know, what everyone's favorites are. So now we're going to do another circle around, and everyone's going to be able to, you know, sort of pitch one show, you know, that they really want to be on this list. You know, whether that's, you know, like your number one show and you just really want it to be on there, or you're choosing a show farther down your list that like maybe other people, you know, won't be as excited for, but you're like, no, this really should be on here. So we'll go around and do that, and then we'll open up to everything, you know, and compile our list and narrow it down to 10.
Let's do it.
So for me, I'm going to be really pitching the third item on my list, Madoka Magica. We talked about it a couple podcasts ago, and for me, this was one that I had heard about for a long time. Actually, Matt, you had told me about it like last school year, even. I think, you know, I'd heard it was good, but I heard how it was a magical girl show, and I kept on thinking of, you know, Sailor Moon and like Cardcaptor Sakura, and I was like, I don't want to have
Cardcaptor
anything to
Sakura's
do with
good.
that. Yeah,
Never
yeah.
heard of it.
Whatever you say.
Hey, you can't. Hey,
I haven't actually watched it like a full episode. I've just seen my sister watching it, and just from glancing at it, it definitely looks very Sailor Moonish to me. So, sorry. But so that sort of turned me off to the show. And then I finally watched this anime review, and it was showing some images from the show and just talking about how it was like this really perfectly executed tragedy. And that got me interested because as a filmmaker, I'm always very interested in seeing like really well done stories. And for me, at least, Madoka Magica didn't disappoint. Like whose was that?
Mark, your DS makes noise.
No, that's not me.
Kenny.
Yeah, I don't know what does that. That's must be acted up. Keep going.
Okay. Anyways, I watched it over the break, and I watched it all the way through the first time, and then like pretty soon after that, I watched it a whole like second time. This time watching like with my sisters, and I was watching like their reactions, you know, and like egging them on, like talking about theories and things, you know, and it was just. What's going on,
intently
Kenny?
listening.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I have to say I agree though, because I really, really like Madoka Magica. Because I'd never really seen any magical girl shows before either. Not that I really judgment on them, but I do like a good story that has a twist in what I expected. And something that adorable, being as dark as it was, completely blew me away.
Well, from episode 3 basically on, you know, it was like
That was the biggest twist ever. Like that, you warned me. I'm like, there's no way. I just froze when it happened. I didn't believe it. I'm like, no, she'll be fine without a head.
Yeah.
Sure, she's got this.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
totally
so
fine.
just,
take it.
just from that moment on, you know, and just seeing things sort of go downhill from there, and seeing, you know, the tragic fall of some of the characters, you know, and getting Homura's backstory, I still count as like one of my favorite episodes of like
That was
any
so
anime
good.
ever. It's just like so well done. And then, but it all built up for me, like all this great buildup was happening. And then I got finished episode 11. I was like, okay, how the hell is the writer and the director, how are they going to wrap this up in a way that that solves some of the problems, that's been presented in the show, but the same way is also sad, because they can't make it a happy rainbows and unicorns ending. But at the same time, they can't make it a super sad ending because they've already shown some of that in Homer's backstory, and it would just make it a super downer show.
I like if it super downer.
Super down.
Apparently you do. But you have to admit, in this case, it would have felt redundant because we'd already seen all the worst things happen to Madoka and Homura in the past in her flashback. So they could have done that if they wanted to, but it would have really
I would have been upset.
hammered in this whole point that nothing changed, and that.
Well, it could have been more powerful.
For me,
too.
that would have really just been soul crushing. But
it could have put the fate of reality. You cannot change fate no matter how hard you try, kind of thing.
So how
If
are
they
we
did
doing
that.
this then, as far as making this semi?
Are we trying to decide what's the best or just what's on the list?
Well, for right now, how I'm thinking of it, everyone goes around, pitches their show, and we'll put that in the discussion, and then we open it up. We talk about some shows that we want to see on, and then we'll have I'll have a list of 20 shows or something written down here, and then we'll go through it, narrow it down to 10, and then we'll rank them, and that will be
really
our list.
difficult.
Yeah, let's see how this goes.
Yeah, it's an experiment. We'll see how it goes. But I'll hurry up on my whole thing.
Yeah, hurry up.
Sorry. So
Take it forever.
basically, watching episode 12 and watching what happens, and how Geno Urobuchi, the writer of the show, just crafts this perfect ending that's both sad and yet happy in resolving a lot of the conflicts facing the characters. I personally really think it's a perfect ending. I can't think of a way the show could have ended that would have worked as well as that ending did.
Walter Noss just blew up for no reason.
Yes, it would have been brilliant. So it's got great animation. It's got great, music. It's got interesting characters. The story is really well executed. It's a subversion of a genre. It's got a whole lot going for it, and there's definitely a reason why it's one of the best of 2011. So I say go Madoka Magica.
Woo!
Andrew.
All right. So I would say I would argue for Gurren Lagann, but I think either Mark wants that. So unless
I haven't seen the show.
No, I mean, yeah, give your points. We can both talk about it.
But I'm just gonna do the Digimon because nobody mentioned that. So
I mean, honestly, I haven't even seen Gurren Lagann, but I'm gonna agree it should be on the top 10.
yeah. We'll probably get to that. So I'm gonna argue for Digimon because that's kind of a
Digital monster.
lesser pick. Right. So we've been watching Digimon lately, right? Because we were like, oh, that was a good show, but we were kids back then because we were like, oh, there's no way it holds up because Pokemon, let's face it, Pokemon does not hold up. So we were probably thinking it's going to be the same thing. And then we started watching it and we're like, wait, the characters are interesting and well developed. And they do the Matt and Ty thing, who are the two main characters. The one guy's Matt's kind of emo-ish. And then Ty is kind of, the obnoxious, I'm go lucky thing, like Naruto and Sasuke. But they resolved that whole thing in an episode instead of dragging it out like Naruto did when.
I think they're still dragging it out.
The one thing that I will say though is, at least in the beginning, the voice acting was ridiculous.
Oh God, it was bad.
Yeah. Okay. Good. I'm glad we can agree that it was bad.
It was bad.
I don't remember.
It was funny.
Yeah.
But you go like, no.
Something you run into, it's not like we mentioned with One Piece, although Digimon isn't, especially at least the first season, it's not nearly as long as One Piece. No. But how many episodes is it actually?
The first season is 80 something.
Okay,
Whoa,
so
what?
Over the course of 80 something episodes, you're going to have, rises and falls. It's going to drop in pacing.
That's
for
one season?
Pretty expansive periods of time.
The first series, because there was another series. We just call it seasons because there's 4 arcs. It basically split up into 4 arcs. So the first arc was, yes, the voice acting was kind of bad. But what was interesting was we found, and if we weren't watching the title screen, which ruined the plot twist, the little kid in the show, he had his Digimon would never digivolve. But they had this really subtle symbolism of him always never want to give up hope, and how he was taking it really, this whole thing really well, and then this thing with he liked the angel symbolism, and they just really were driving this foreshadowing home that and then his Digimon does the Angelmon thing, and he does the
right?
Yeah, TK, and then he does the Jesus thing, and we're like, that was actually really well done. If the title screen didn't ruin it for me.
Yeah.
So we're like, if you just get past that, it's actually good foreshadowing in there. And then the second arc was. Okay, the second arc was bad.
What is the second arc?
The second arc has Monkey Elvis. as like a villain.
Oh god, I actually
yes.
remember
But
that.
they like sweep him under the rug because they have this real. But they have this good part about Ty and how he kept like pushing Agumon to digivolve the next level, and that turned him all evil. And then he was all like, "I can't believe
Right.
I did that," and he was doubting
So
himself.
this is the whole arc where they're getting like their crests and
Yes.
making their Digimon into ultimate form.
yes.
Right?
And then
Okay.
the last arc was the next arc after that was the vampire guy,
Myotismon.
Myotismon, who's. It was a good villain, actually. He was really his plan was solid.
Yeah,
and we were watching like that's a good plan,
Yeah.
actually.
I remember we would go to the video store in my hometown, and they had a VHS copy of like a series of episodes from like when they're in the human world fighting Myotismon, and we rewatched that like a whole bunch of times, and like all of that was cool, and especially when Agumon and what's Matt's Digimon name?
It's-
I almost said Pokemon.
Pokemon. I know he digivolves into Garurumon.
Right.
Because he
Yeah.
goes into
Yeah, basically when both of them go into their mega forms,
Yes.
like that was like
War Greymon.
you know, it's the coolest thing as a kid.
Yes, we were excited, and because they keep doing it, and then the last arc with the four like the Dark Masters, there's like four guys, and the villains actually behave in kind of good manners. Like all their plans are like solid, and they're just like, and War Greymon basically goes Giga Drillbreaker and kills one of them. I'm like, he just did a Giga Drillbreaker. That was basically what we just kept calling it. Like this is basically just Gurren Lagann for like kids, because it just kept getting bigger and bigger, and it just never, there was like no ceiling. It was, but the characters stayed all the characters except two stayed interesting and relevant.
Who are the two that
I
didn't?
didn't like? We don't like Joe and Mimi. Their characters
And
are
what show
irrelevant
is
and
this?
stupid. Digimon. We think their characters are irrelevant and stupid. Although Joe gets the best looking Digimon because his ultimate form is basically looks like a cross between Thor and Bowser.
Yeah,
And
that is true.
We were like that.
Bowser?
I want that. Yeah, we were like Bowser, God of Thunder.
So the thing is, I watched like 3 episodes of that show, so I know nothing.
So
Yeah, and
No?
I never saw.
I never got into Digimon.
I was a fan.
Digimon's not my thing, so
I'm-
it's just.
I understand.
I'm actually with you because I loved Digimon and I still like it. I just haven't seen it in a long time. But I mean, yeah, I remember I always liked Tai as a character, and I even liked some of the later seasons. I actually really liked the second group of kids that they introduced.
They were solid.
Yeah, we're getting to that too. We're about ready to start that, and we like them too, especially the Kari TK thing, because when they grow up, they get really interesting, and you know, it's just fascinating. And then they have the guy who was like the evil Digidestined, and then he has to like go through his redemption process. And
I love that because that's the guy with the bug one, right?
yeah,
That one is so cool.
Yes.
What he digivolves into.
and then him and the main character go and form that like
They do the
robot
fusion
looking guy.
thing.
I don't remember what his name was, but he looks like a robot thing. And the ending of that series, because I remember that series, they were like throwing each other through like the walls of reality or something. I'm like, this is basically Gurren Lagann for like kids. This show like grows up to be Gurren Lagann.
Yeah, well,
believe it.
it doesn't really reach the completely
No.
ridiculous
No.
lengths of Gurren Lagann.
It does
but,
not, but it's like the younger version. It's like what you start with.
Yeah, it does build quite nicely. And like Mark, I was also a fan of Digimon as a kid. I never bought like any of the merchandise or the cards or
No.
anything, but I enjoyed watching the show when I got to see it. I actually watched the 4th season quite a bit, and I enjoyed that one. It was a bit more mature because they aren't like little kids; they're more like teenagers.
Yeah, I remember the third one was. I fell off when I was a kid of the third one, but I think when we're just gonna keep watching it till it gets bad.
If
So.
if you
Good choice.
I didn't watch the third one much as a kid either, but re-looking at it now, it actually goes really dark and
Oh, yeah.
really interesting.
Yeah,
So-
I think we'll enjoy it a lot more. We'll be like, this show was probably not for kids, but
I just remember is Agumon the little Tyrannosaurus?
Yes.
Yeah, because I had like my friend just gave me a toy of that where it could transform into the one with the horn and the
yeah,
helmet.
Greymon.
Yeah, and that was the coolest thing I've ever had because I like Transformers. I was like, I've never seen the show, but
So that's my pick for
All right. Awesome. Matt, what's yours going to be?
For my pick, so how many times are we gonna go? We're gonna go through like 2 or 3 times, I guess.
Well, how I'm thinking of it, like this is our time to go in depth about a particular show, and then we'll open it up more to just general talk, and we'll come up with our list.
Okay. I mean, mine doesn't really have to. If I'm gonna have to really push one that I think that should be on this list, I'm definitely gonna. I'll probably go with Black Lagoon. which if anyone knows, I don't think anyone else other than you, Alex, knows what that show's about.
I don't know. Do any of you guys know about it?
I know like mercenaries or something
Yes,
like
yes,
that.
yes.
I know what it's about. I've just never seen it, but I hear it's really good.
So there's no monsters.
No,
No,
but there's
never.
guns and tons of cursing. Basically, the F-bomb is dropped in the first season alone, which is only 13 episodes, like 63 times.
You counted?
No,
Someone else.
someone
Okay,
else
I was
has
saying somebody
counted.
had to. That's fantastic.
So yes,
Yeah.
it drops the. I mean, not that you shouldn't. That the language makes the show, but it's
That's
a
hilarious
very
they do that.
it's a very action-based, very
Robin
gritty.
Adams.
What were you gonna say, Alex?
Well, I just had a question because I've only seen a few episodes of the show, that I saw with you at JCon last year, and I enjoyed what I saw. My question, though, is are there more episodes like that one that we watched where it wasn't really action-y, it was just Revy and, what's the main character's name?
Rock.
Yeah, Revy and Rock, and they were just like they had like that meeting with the crazy nun ladies, and then they got into like this big argument, the two of them, and Revy was like almost ready to shoot Rock, but he was like actually like
They have a few
talking
of
about
those
her
episodes,
ideals.
but obviously the main idea of the show is that it's violence, it's guns. Sometime later in the second season, it gets the first season is my favorite, but in the second season, they even go into like there's these two kids that are like maybe 12 or 13. And they're brother and sister, but they act like they're vampires, and they basically go around and kill people. And then you realize that they swap the roles of each other. Like, they are both each other, because the sister is really the brother, and the brother is really the sister, because they can...
What?
Yeah, it gets really twisted.
That's
That
kind
kind
of
of blows my mind. What is this?
But the main idea of the show is that it's about mercenaries that take up these, jobs that, to help pay the bills, basically. It's kind of like Bebop, but it's this more grittier, more language-fied.
language vibe.
Like, I like the words you're
Language
using.
I mean, they have nuns in the show that have guns. Like, think Helsing.
Nuns with guns.
You know Helsing? Have
Oh,
you
I've seen Helsing, yeah.
Think Helsing, and that's very what
Does
this
anybody turn into a large dog and eat people alive?
No.
No, without supernatural.
But no, there's this show plays on on racial stereotypes. There's one woman who runs the Russian mob, and her name is Balalaika. Like, she has this whole scar on her face, and she's just a bad.
You can say badass. It's okay.
She's badass. I mean, she will, if you do anything against her, she will kill
Break
you
you?
right
Oh,
there.
just kill you.
She will just kill you. She doesn't. No, yeah, she won't break you. No, your life means
She'll break your face
nothing.
with a bullet.
Yeah, well, one of my favorite anime video guys on YouTube, Giguk, he did a video of his top 20 favorite epically cool anime characters. And I think Balalaika was number 3. She was high up
Yeah,
there.
I mean,
I want to see a picture.
it's just we'll pull up one after.
Picture
podcast.
didn't happen, bro.
So the point is, it's a very cool show. It's gunslinging. There's just you can't argue with it.
Sounds fantastic.
I mean, I really recommend it to anyone who just wants to see it. I mean, I got the DVDs on me right now.
And
actually,
it is available on Hulu and stuff. I think I've seen it
Yes.
streaming.
So, I mean, but I don't know if it's an English dub, though.
Probably not.
This is a show you want to see the English dub, because all the character voices are perfect. I mean, the Japanese might have some English, which will make it hilarious, so take it either way.
love that.
Yeah,
But no, there's just some of the random characters that you meet in this show. There's this one guy who gets high off of weed, and he's like the getaway driver. So
he's high at all times. Like, hey, where'd you get away? He's like, marshmallows look like clouds.
no, when they're escaping, because they actually go to Vietnam and stuff. They
Oh,
go to
crap,
these,
wow.
because it's all in the what do you want to call that part of the world?
It's in Eastern Asia.
Eastern Asia kind of area, and they travel from place to place. And the point is, there's one episode where they're in Vietnam, and they're trying to steal back one of the main characters. And one of the guys who's in the car for the getaway car is just completely stoned and high on weed. It's a good show.
It's a good show.
Okay.
Drivers on weed. What more can I say?
Getaway drivers.
Oh, getaway drivers. Even better. All right. Mark, what's your show going to be?
Said so.
Gurren Lagann.
All right. Wasn't surprised about that
call.
one.
I mean, yeah, I think it's pretty obvious just because Gurren Lagann is one of those like animes where, and not many have done this. Like you're watching it and you're at like the whole, literally almost the like whole universe is just mainly Earth, but like you can imagine like just everyone is rooting for Simone and like their team to like go and do the impossible and all that stuff. Like the song, like the theme song says like do the impossible,
Break the unbreakable.
breakable.
Raw, fight the power.
Is that what
Touch
that's
the
from?
untouchable.
Yes.
Break
Yeah.
There's a rap opera
Oh, my friend's saying that all the
version,
time.
and
I was like,
is-
what's that from?
Yeah, they have a rap opera.
power to the peeps.
I'm not sure if I'd call it the theme song, though. The theme song is Serario Days, the
But
opening theme.
you know what I mean, though. It's just like a song that comes up a lot.
Right.
Yeah. My roommate had to say, like, about, not to bring him back into the conversation again, but most of the music in that series is really cheesy, but that's the one song that just makes it awesome.
I don't know about that. Like, I forget what it's called. It's like Tenwo Tusuke or something like that. And it's the theme that basically plays, like, usually near the climax or, like, right after a battle. And it's, I don't know, there's just something about it. Like, it builds up and it's beautiful. Like, there's a lot of great orchestral pieces in Gurren Lagann.
There are. It's just one of the problems with the Gurren Lagann soundtrack are
The names.
Are the names of the songs. Like, let's see here, Boobs versus Boobs.
What?
Your
classic.
XXX is soaring. He is so XXX. Lovely boobs. Peeping Tom. Beard and harem.
Are you being
Okay.
real?
A cluster of old men.
Yeah, that's what they're called.
Is this really
Right.
that's-
Well, you talked about this on the Gurren Lagann podcast, basically saying that, like, they just let the music guy name him whatever the hell that he wanted.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I mean, these songs have really weird. Like, what is Moe? That is one of the songs.
Right. So it has weird names, but the actual music's really good.
What the hell are you thinking in the dark?
Okay.
A little
You sound
creepy.
fantastic.
Poison prison.
Nice. All right.
Or wait, one more.
Okay, fine.
With your XXX pierce the heavens.
Actually, no,
All right,
actually.
moving on from that one.
Given that series, that makes sense though.
Yeah, there's plenty of parallels that can be
drill.
made there, but we won't
Yes.
go there.
Parallel.
Shut up, Mark. Matt.
Phallus.
But
I'm offended.
yeah, but I would agree. Like, especially near the last few episodes of that series, it just gets to so over the top, but so awesome. Like you can't help
What,
but
does he, like, shoot a
enjoy
star at
yourself.
someone?
I've watched the last half of the series probably at least 6 times. Like I've just rewatched that whole
Yeah,
that,
future
after
arc,
the
or-
after the
Yeah.
time skip after the time skip.
Because some of the early episodes, like, I think it's like we talked about before, the episode where they fight the multi-headed, Beastman, and there's some weird sort of filler-esque episodes near the intro of the series, that feel a little bit out of place, but then it builds up to episode 8, where something
episode
very
8.
important happens that's pretty cool.
Episode 8.
And then, and from there, we get more Simone character development. And then from there, it's just, I really actually love the bit from basically where Simone becomes a man all the way to the fight at Teplin.
You know, guys-
Like, that's just him taking on all the generals and just these constant
Yes.
episodes of fighting and awesomeness.
You convinced me. I'm going to start watching it tonight. You guys
need-
talked about
do
it
it.
so much. I'm
Do
watching
it.
it tonight.
Please do.
You
Do
have
it.
to.
Do
It's-
the
it's-
impossible.
Mark, I'm
break
just gonna
the
come through your window
unbreakable.
tonight and start watching in your room.
Fight the power.
While you're asleep, I'm just going to put my arm around you and just start watching. You wake up and be like, shh, shh.
No, we wake up like, wait, Gurren Lagann's on. I don't care. Well, because we
Of course I
love,
got in later.
because the show has like the climax from the first arc where they fight the Spiral King,
Spiral.
which is
Right.
that's the spoiler.
Does he have spiral eyes?
No.
Oh.
He does have
Oh,
fire for
George,
hair,
no.
though.
So
No.
something
Yes.
I've been wondering, though, are they how do they fight? Are they humans or then robots?
They're
No.
in robots.
Okay,
in
because I thought they're
robots.
robots. That's what I thought.
with giant drums.
I'm
Okay, that's what I
I'm
thought.
pretty certain. Wait, who are you talking about right now?
I was
Spiral
talking
King.
about because I was talking about from the
The,
Spiral
the
King.
Spiral King? Yeah, no, the Spiral King
Oh, yeah.
does have spirals in
Kenny.
his eyes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kenny, if you actually watch this show in English, which I hope you do, the Spiral King, his voice actor, that's the guy who's going to be Ryder.
Really?
Yes.
Garen.
You told me about that. That's right. Okay, so you
Yeah.
guys recommend English dub over?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
well,
then I'll watch
and
that.
the English dub
I
is available.
The,
haven't seen the English
one.
I,
On Hulu.
Where's
I,
the- oh, Hulu, cool.
I've watched it in both. I watched it all the way through in the Japanese. I actually do prefer the Japanese dub, but the English dub is good.
Yeah, I was
So,
gonna say because I usually watch Japanese over
either.
English.
You could go either way.
I mean, it really. We've talked about this before. For me, it usually depends on what you see first. I saw the English dub first, so I really like the English voices.
I like to see like just one of the personal things. If there is a dub, I'll give it a shot. If it ticks me off, then yeah, I won't watch it. I'll go back to the Japanese. But
like for
I
example,
like to watch what's on screen and not read the subtitles all the time.
Yeah.
Kenny, the only reason why I'm going to suggest actually the sub is because I feel like the emotion that the Japanese voice actors give is a lot more intense than the English voice
it's the
actors,
original
but that's just
casting,
me.
so-
I will say, Kamina's Giga Drill Breaker in episode 8, his Japanese voice actor does it way better than the English one.
Yeah.
It's that one's been made a meme on online in multiple places.
as it should be. Giga Drill Breakers.
A quick side note on the whole subs versus dubs thing. I found some of Angel Beats in English, and I was rewatching like the last 2 episodes in English. And it's not a bad dub, but it did sort of throw me off after having watched, 10 episodes of the show in Japanese and then switching to English. It was like, whoa, this feels a little weird, man. So I with the whole subs versus dubs thing, it usually depends on what you see first, and except in rare occasions where either the dub is really terrible and the sub is obviously significantly better, or like a show like Bakano or like Cowboy Bebop, where the dub is definitely better than the Japanese.
But yeah, so basically intense characters and intense action. Like that's my pitch.
No, I understand. It makes sense.
And don't forget about Buta.
Buta's.
The show wouldn't be the same without Buta.
Yes, of course. He's got to go in Yoko's boobs. all
Boobs
the
versus
time.
boobs.
Yes.
So yeah,
Exactly.
music.
All right,
Go.
Kenny, what's yours gonna be?
Last time on Dragon Ball Z, we were debating this should be in the top 10 list, and of course it should. You know why? Because the announcer alone. My friend met the guy who did that and had him like announce his day. Like, there's a video I watched of the guy just announcing what he did that day.
That's pretty awesome.
Beautiful. So I love that.
Is
And
he, is he as good as the announcer from Legend of Korra?
I'd say it's a tie. I like them both the same. 'Cause the first announcer in my life was him.
He
But I
was
have to
your
say,
life.
well, the main reason is the nostalgia factor, and I've rewatched the series. I mean, I admit, Dragon Ball Z does have some really, like, the writing is not always the best when it's translated. It has some ridiculous moments with the English dub, but I love it. I mean, it's a series I grew up with, and it's the series when I was younger that taught me that I could, like Gurren Lagann, I could do anything and overcome anything, because no matter what, Goku does it. I don't care what it is, going Super Saiyan 4, Super Saiyan 3, Kamehameha Wave, learning the Kaioken, he learns it all to overcome
The
everybody.
Kaioken?
Yeah, Kaioken.
Kaioken.
But he says it like Kaioken.
Kaioken's better, dude. I don't know, Kaioken, but still, I just like the series because the characters are hilarious. That show made me laugh a lot, especially Master Roshi, because he's just the worst, but I love him.
Yes, the poor Master Roshi, who used to be like the strongest fighter in the whole world,
He can make himself 30 times bigger.
and now he's like pathetically weak in DBZ.
Vegeta was my favorite character.
Vegeta, see, I love Vegeta. Nobody ever did. And see, the thing is, originally he was just like the small Saiyan that came in to fight everybody. And he was powerful, and when he found out he could turn to apes, and that was the whole thing. Because I hadn't seen Dragon Ball at that point.
I don't know. I do feel like Vegeta peaks, from like his introduction through like the Frieza saga. And after that, he's just sort of like, he goes from being sort of this anti-hero to being more of a reluctant good guy.
Yeah.
And he loses some of his cool points.
But I actually like the reluctant good guy thing because
He still kicks some serious face.
Yeah, and also it's just funny because he's kind of like whenever they do the whole like happy-go-lucky thing, Vegeta's there to just be
He's
like,
always like,
just stop.
yeah, guys, seriously.
Always to be serious.
And I mean, at least in the beginning of the series, Omega Shenron was this all like the Dragon Balls were still the big thing, and it was so awesome the fact that you could wish any wish, and I loved that when I was younger.
Just so you know, Omega Shenron's from GT.
Is he? I thought Omega Shenron was still in, or is that just Shenron in the first one?
Just Shenron is the
Because I was
dragon.
Omega Shenron I knew was the main. I never knew if it was the same or not. Because I don't watch GT, I have no idea.
Okay, well, there you go.
So, but anyway,
Clarified.
Shenron, I'm sorry, it was awesome because at least then he could grant any wish. We find out.
The one thing that does bother me a bit that a lot of people have pointed out is just because with the whole Dragon Ball's concept and how it works in the show, it basically makes death like meaningless. At some point, because they get to the point where they even break the rule where you can only wish someone back once. When what's his name? The little
Mr. Popo?
no, the little Namekian who becomes the new Kami.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
God, what is it?
I can't
Dende.
remember. Yeah.
Dende, that's his name. When he makes the new Earth Dragon Balls, I think he changes the rules and they're able to wish people back an infinite number of times. So it makes death like.
Admittedly, I know
completely-
that was one thing. Wishing back a lot. I mean, again, though, the writer's trying to end the series earlier than they're trying to make it. So,
Right.
like the original creator was trying to stop
Akira
it.
Toriyama, the manga guy.
Because I heard multiple times when Goku's dying, he's trying to finish the show. Like after Cell Saga, he's like, I'm done, but they kept going, which I would have been completely fine if they ended then. But just like I brought up earlier, like every epic moment, like I have the VHS still when Goku's fighting Frieza, gives him his chance to live, and he Destructo discs himself in half, and he just blasts him. Because Goku, I like him as a character, because originally, he was evil and like Dragon Ball was supposed to be, but hit his head and all that good stuff. Right. I thought someone was behind me. But he's just like the perfect, he always gives people a chance. He's really nice. But, when you fight him, he will destroy you. And I just like that about him because it taught me to be a good person.
Yeah,
as
well,
a child.
what's interesting about that, like, I was watching this whole, like, Superman versus Goku video, like, who's stronger, and they made the point, like, Goku's always looking for, like, a fight, so he would, like, fight Superman, because he's a strong opponent, and there was, like, this whole bit
thing.
where the kryptonite showed up, and Superman was like getting all weak, and then Goku just blew it up because he didn't want to
make it unfair. See, that's why he always wants a fair fight and always says, I'm honored to fight you. This is going to be awesome. Let's see who wins.
Like how he lets Frieza power up to 100% just so he can fight him at his full strength.
And that's what I like about him. He's completely fair.
Even though, of course, at the end of the day, he always wins because he's the protagonist. But if he screwed up, and he let like Frieza go to full power and then lost, and the world is screwed, then it's like, well, Goku,
and I mean,
you screwed up, man.
I admit the show too. Somebody calculated 25% of the show is screaming, which is hilarious. And this,
oh my god,
is it really 25%?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. That was actually about 20% is them going like,
I've heard stories about like the English voice actors like literally passing out in the recording booth because they scream so much.
Yeah, but I always thought it was cool the fact that they could like go through forms. And the first time Goku goes Super Saiyan and Vegeta's like, what? Because he can't do it yet. And then I mean, a lot of people didn't like it, but I kind of enjoyed the Snake Road segment. It went on for way too long, but the beginning was cool when he's coming back to life and training with Master. I think it's Kami who's in the, or not Kami. It's trying to remember his name.
It's King Kai.
Yeah, King Kai was awesome.
Oh, is that the weird little?
And he had the
floaty?
monkey bubbles.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
I will say probably when like you mentioned the Kamehameha, father son Kamehameha.
That was my favorite
blows
moment,
up.
hands down.
Cell.
That was when Gohan was awesome. Everything past that.
For me, like one of my favorite moments in Dragon Ball Z and like in anime in general is like when Goku's fighting Cell near the beginning of their little fight, and he's charging up the Kamehameha in the sky, and everyone's like, Goku, you're gonna destroy the planet, what are you doing? He's there, and then he does the instant transmission like right down in front of Cell's face, and Cell just gets this like, oh no, like trolled face on, before he blasts him point blank with like this supercharged Kamehameha, and it's like,
that and like using the energy blast and the classic whole like, who's gonna win in between each other.
And also Vegeta's final flash attack that uses
Final Flash is so awesome.
Against Cell is also pretty awesome.
And just how like brutal the manga was, because I didn't remember it in the anime as much, but I remember reading in the original because I got the first set of the first manga, and how Raditz was when he first landed down, the farmer came up to shoot him, so the farmer shoots him, and he's like, huh. And he looks at him, and it's like power level 5, so he just grabs the bolt and flicks it through the guy's head, and blood goes everywhere, and he just keeps walking. I was like, dang, son. And then like Piccolo, I like Piccolo a lot too. Gohan as a kid was awesome because he's more powerful than Goku was.
Can I just point out though the stupidity of Dragon Ball, like when Piccolo blows up the moon in order to stop raging Gohan?
I don't know. Oh, they wish it back, but they blown it up twice.
But it's good that they wished it back, but still, like with being the Earth without the moon, even for a short period of time, would really like destroy things.
And the convenience of that one place they always fight, they leave the city, and it's always that huge field.
I was going to say, we're not allowed to complain about people missing the moon because Gurren Lagann did it too. So
no, but they got the moon back. Remember?
They did, but they were missing the moon for like a good hour or so.
Yeah, and Gurren Lagann is like completely ridiculous. So is Dragon Ball Z, but in Dragon Ball Z, it's like gone for a long time. It's more than just an hour.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I don't think we have any room to complain about that.
No, I just like it for
yeah, I agree.
Characters, hilarious moments. The hyperbolic time chamber was awesome, and every fighting thing they go to, like the fight, like when they have to go and pretend that they're weak so they can get in. And I remember Vegeta just like wraps his fist against the machine and explodes, and they're like, that's not true, and he's like, just walks in and beats I just loved it.
Yep.
Everything about that show. So that's my...
Okay, so right now on our list, based on what everyone has pitched, we have Madoka Magica, Digimon, Black Lagoon, Gurren Lagann, and Dragon Ball Z. Now we can...
that's a pretty mixed list.
Yep, well, now we're going to open it up to everything else. I think for starters, we can probably add Bebop and Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood to that list, since numerous people had them on their list.
And Evangelion.
And Eva, but one I want to add on to is Soul Eater. A lot of people like Soul Eater.
Yes.
Okay.
But I want Eva on there. We need it.
We need it.
Bebop. And
Is that 10?
How about we add Death Note too?
I've
seen about half of Death Note.
Death Note's good.
Death Note's
I saw the
need to
last
watch
scene
it.
of Death Note.
good.
That's on my list.
It's
How many do we have right now?
And
just keep listing
No, I was
more.
gonna say at 10. I can keep going, but I think 10 will be good.
Mark, keep throwing up. Just go more.
Wait,
Well, no.
Hold on, let me see how many we're there.
well, right now we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So right now we're at 10. However, the whole point is that we get a list larger than 10 and then narrow it down to the shows we really think are the best.
That can be
So-
ridiculous. I think I'm pretty good with just staying with 10.
Well, I'm not good because I've got a whole bunch of shows
Okay,
I'd
well,
like to
I
Look at
don't
his
think
little list
I don't
there.
think anyone else here has seen it, but I really liked Oran High School Host Club.
Yes.
Okay.
That is going on the
Thank you.
list.
Okay,
You got really
good.
excited.
I've only heard, obviously, I've heard of it and saw
It's
stuff,
the
but
characters are so good.
The
Is it that it's
characterization
funny, or
is
is it just
very
that
well
it's really
done in
well
that
done?
series.
Funny. They're so funny.
is the show more like humorous than anything
It's
else?
humorous.
Okay.
It's
The ending has a serious tone to it.
it's made as like a shoujo where it's like, oh, pretty boys. Like
Because isn't a girl trying to sneak into the club? Is that the thing?
no.
What am I thinking of?
Oh yes, it is. She's
she's not
a girl and she's dressing up as a guy, to get into the.
No, she's not.
No.
Oh.
what show am I
See,
thinking
don't,
of?
don't talk about plot if you don't know what it is.
I thought it was a different show.
Arrogance.
I saw the first episode once, so that's
So
I have a vague memory.
basically what happens is she breaks something of the host club and they're like, hey, you need to work that off. And because of the clothes she's wearing, she looks like a guy because she has short hair and she has like a lot of clothes on. So like
Yeah, she's got like a ratty like sweatshirt,
So they
sweater
just
on.
and she's kind of flat chested, so she looks like a guy. So they're like, okay, well, yeah, so you're gonna work for the host club, and
so
they,
she's not faking it. They just assumed.
yeah, and,
Oh.
and she didn't tell them that she's a girl, so they just start making her work, and the girls actually like her as a host because she's just like naturally like really nice, and just people generally like her.
And do they know she's a girl?
No, they think she's a guy. And so then near the end of the episode, throughout the episode, everyone in the host club figures out that she's a girl in a different way. But then finally, the like lead host,
voiced by Vic Mignogna.
yeah,
Yes.
sees her changing and is like, wait a second, you're a girl. And she's like, well, yeah, I didn't want to tell you because I don't really care. Like, you can think of me as a guy or a girl. Like, it doesn't really matter. And he's like, oh, okay. And she's like, yeah, this is fun. I guess I'll keep doing it. And that's how it starts.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I'll admit the first episode was pretty funny, although it was a little bit too, cutesy for me to want to continue on with it.
Oh no,
myself.
it was. What did I put it as?
What are some of the song names?
I'm willing to put it on
Even-
the honorable mentions list.
I said it was very good. That's like a 7 to an 8 on my list.
No, even if you don't like cutesy stuff, like it's so good.
Now, many people may
Wait, never mind. That's an 8. Sorry, very good is an 8.
Okay.
but people may disagree with me, and they may not even get on the list. But my other favorite anime that I've watched almost all the way through is Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex. I love Ghost in the Shell.
A lot of people like that. So
It's so good.
Yeah, I've only seen the first episode, and I'm not the biggest Ghost in the Shell fan. Like, I do think the futuristic setting is cool, but some of the
See, you would like Psychopaths then.
Oh,
'cause
no,
it's
I'm
the
sure I would.
It's the futuristic.
Because that's what I like.
It's also made by the same studio.
See,
so
that's why, because I just like the writing and the characters. It's one of the best series shows I've ever seen. I just love.
You've
everything
seen
in it.
Second Gig, right?
Oh yeah, I've seen. My friend has both.
So do you know the news? The 3rd season just got announced.
serious?
Ghost in the Shell standalone complex.
Okay, my friend who got me into Ava, that and every show I like now, all my favorites, he probably doesn't know that. So I'm gonna blow his mind after this anime. I'm gonna call him after this and let him know.
Yeah.
'Cause that's his favorite, hands down.
Yeah, a lot of people love that one, so I definitely think that's worth being
Yeah,
on the
it's
list.
called Ghost in the Shell.
Holy crap! I'm still trying to comprehend that.
Ghost in the Shell Arise.
Oh, I was gonna say actually, people probably have seen this everywhere, but my favorite scene from any anime ever, like hands down, the funniest thing I've ever seen was from Ghost in the Shell, and I'm sure it's a meme, so I think you've seen it. But you guys know who Bato is, the guy with the silver eyes.
Yeah, I love Bato.
My favorite scene is there's this guy peeing in a urinal, and he looks up, and this in front of him, the wall just slides, and you see Bato's face, and he just smiles, and then punches the guy in the face. I laughed so hard.
I have not finished it, but Samurai Champloo.
All right, we can put that on the list.
Oh yeah, I saw the
Samurai
first episode of
Champloo?
that.
Show.
You
Very
seen
good
all of
show.
it?
I have not, but I've seen
think,
the
Fully
first
Cooley
like 8
needs to be on there.
episodes.
It gets
It's
a lot
really good.
It gets a lot better. Like
Fully Cooley.
The ending,
Well,
they do a
I'm gonna
fight
pitch that in
like
a
in an
second.
abandoned church, and like while they're fighting, like parts of the building are coming down. It is wicked.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see the first episode.
was gonna say that
I was interested.
Yeah, I've seen a bit of Samurai Champloo, and the fighting for sure is like really good. I'm not so sold on like the characters. Like,
yeah, like I said,
think,
it's one of those shows. If you, it's not like the writing gets good, but the idea is like as you watch it, you become
I like it a lot
attached to these characters.
because I've seen mixed episodes, but I really enjoyed it when I watched it.
Because like I would say the first 12 episodes, I was like, I'm okay with this series. This isn't my favorite, but I kept watching it all the way through, and once I was
sucks
done,
you in.
I was like.
what's the name of the breakdancing guy? Is it Jin?
Jin, there's
Yeah.
Jin. Oh,
And then the other guy has
Brandy.
You have Mr. Serious guy with no personality. But Jin, I actually find quite interesting. Just because of his crazy fighting style and his Steve Blum's voice and his just arrogant personality. It feels very out of place in this feudal Japan samurai story. But that's sort of the whole point of Champloo. Bringing like this beatboxing, breakdancing whole thing into
Mugen.
feudal.
Jin, Jin is the glasses.
Oh,
and
okay, so
Yeah.
Mugen's the one
Mugen
I'm
is
talking about.
Mugen.
Okay.
He's
So-
the Steve Blum.
Yes, and Kenny was just mentioning this to me a minute ago, but I would agree. I definitely think Fooly Cooley deserves to be on this list. One of my personal favorites. And once again, this is the right now. These are honorable mentions that we're coming up with, and we're going to narrow it down to a top 10. So Fooly Cooley definitely deserves to be on there,
I got one more
at least for animation alone. It's
from this
beautiful.
list, just because it's another one I grew up loving. I like Rurouni Kenshin.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
good.
I love that.
I would
anime.
say only the first 2 seasons.
Oh
though.
no, I didn't. Really, yeah, everything past. I didn't watch past it. I just
After
watched the first two.
once you get rid of Makoto Shishio, that's the guy in bandages.
That's what I was gonna say. The guy, the
Who has the
petroleum
blood-
plant, right?
Yeah,
That
who
was
also has
so
like the
awesome.
the blood temperature issue. It's why it never, when it aired on Cartoon Network, like on Toonami or whatever, they stopped it at the second season.
Because they could.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
No,
show.
they
I
could do
love
the
that
third
show.
season, but the point is the third season is garbage beyond
Yeah.
belief. That's why the
And
show failed.
The movie was cool though. Isn't
Oh.
it Samurai X? That was the movie.
Have you seen that?
I didn't, but my friend told me about it way back, and I heard how it all ended. I know how it goes. I haven't
I've
seen
got
it.
the Blu-rays.
I saw
I
the
want
new
to
Ava
see
movies
that
too.
because I wanted to rewatch that series because I remember that as a kid. I
It's so
just
good.
Love that show.
Well, you'll be happy to know if you stick around with Tech Heads, I'm bringing my anime collection next year. So
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
Exciting.
I've read the manga for Rurouni Kenshin,
because
and
of the apartment.
exactly,
Yeah.
and I agree that the third arc, like after Shishio, it isn't as good as the previous stuff. I don't think it's terrible though; it's still pretty good. But that's just me. I don't know how it translates to the anime. I just know the manga. But that's definitely one worth being on there. I think we should add One Piece, since we have
Yep.
several One Piece fans here.
what else
obviously.
do I have here?
I wanted to nominate Fate Zero to be
Fate
on
Zero.
here
I want to watch
because even though Matt hasn't watched it, you should because a lot of people loved it. It was a
can
lot
dig
of people's favorites of like 2011, early 2012. So Fate
Rider
Throw
Zero.
Bakano on there. I'm looking.
Yes,
I'm looking
Bakano.
at my library right now. Let's see.
Bakano. I think that deserves to be on there. I love
Bukano.
Anyone
Bakano.
seen Gunslinger Girl?
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it.
I've seen some clips from it, but I've never watched it.
That's coming to.
That's coming to it. Let's see. What else do I have on here? I know you may disagree with me on this one, Matt, but I'd like to nominate Code Geass.
See, I was about ready to say that because I'm like, I watched the first couple episodes and I was kind of getting into it. He's clearly evil, but I'm just getting into
It's
it.
yeah, like I said, it's a great show, and then I stop at episode 17, and I just don't.
See, I've only seen
rewatch.
like 5 episodes, but incidentally, it's the only wall scroll I own.
Interesting.
I have like his face with the Geass
Why
on.
episode 17? I'm trying to remember which one that is.
That's when they first get landed on the island, and there's like a beach,
There's
and
a
he's
dog.
with the prince. No, there's no dog.
I'm gonna go until I get it.
Lelouch is
Dog.
like right there on the island of like a beach with a
right.
giant rock with the pink-haired princess
Euphemia.
Euphemia, and it's just like and then I just stop. I've watched that series twice through up to that point, and then I just stop.
I mean, to be fair, it has.
Have we reviewed that for the show?
No, we haven't reviewed
We
that
should
for
try.
sure.
Maybe I should rewatch. Give it a chance.
I would like to do it for the show. The problem being that the first season is fully available in English, online. The second one is not, which makes it difficult to do because it would be hard for me to do a Code Geass podcast and not be able to talk about R2. because there's so much that happens in R2.
There's an epic sword battle going on between
Yeah.
them.
I noticed.
Maybe they're trying to kill you.
Yes, but
Sorry.
no. Code Geass has like excessive fan service, and it jumps the shark quite a
the
number
best
of
part.
times. But it,
You say jumps the shark?
yeah,
Ooh,
it's
gotta
a
add
film
another
term.
one. I got some.
Okay, I've never heard that term. That's awesome.
It's from
awesome.
Happy Days.
What about Trigun?
Oh, okay. Trigun.
Yes.
Yes. Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry.
I
yeah.
wanted to mention
Bash
Trigun.
the Stampede, the 60 million double dollars.
I still have to
Double
watch that series,
baller.
but I know a lot about it, and from what I've seen, it's fantastic.
Yes, I love Trigun. I wanted to mention Paranoia Agent, Satoshi Kon's one of the few. I think it might have been the last. No, he did Paprika after Paranoia Agent,
like
so it was like the second to last thing he did. But
I don't think we're gonna get to movies this week.
no, we
No.
won't. We can do that at a different podcast.
yeah.
But no, Paranoia Agent. Have you guys see it besides Matt?
Nope.
Okay, well they have it at the library. Actually, it's like
I won't support
if
it.
you like dark psychological stories.
Yes.
It goes really, really in depth to that. Like it feels a bit like a, like a Hitchcock movie, like really getting into your brain and messing with you. I don't know. I love Paranoia Agent.
So I'll have to look into this.
I think we can narrow down this list because this is getting hefty.
All right.
There was one more I wanted to mention.
Kids on the Slope.
Exactly. You could probably read off
that's
my
it.
list there.
Oh no, I
you?
didn't. I was just saying. I didn't look.
Oh, okay. Well, Kids on the Slope is one I want to mention. I know
Good choice.
The dog in that one was my favorite.
there's no dog in it.
Actually, I know. I've seen that one.
There is no dog.
I don't know. It's not the greatest series ever. Its characters aren't as
charming.
compelling, as Bebop, Shigeru Watanabe and Yoko Kanno's last little collaboration, but it's hard to, meet with perfection every time.
The music's really good, though. I do like the characters, though, and like the development they have, and the ending I liked better than what it could have been. I really liked how they took a turn for it.
What are you so happy about, Mark?
I'm sorry. I've been playing Pokemon and I just beat the 9th area of the Black Tower. So that means I am at the 10th level, which means I'm on the last level.
I thought you caught Entei or something. I was excited.
No, but I killed Entei.
Is that-
You killed it. What? Goodbye, Entei.
Is that black and white too? Or
yeah, the trainers in the higher levels of the Black Tower can just have legendaries. Like it's no big deal.
Pokemon should be on that list.
Small.
No,
No.
well,
No.
hold on. Digimon's on it, so put it on the list. But
Fine.
it's not gonna make
No,
it.
it's not. I just want to see it on the list. I just want to say, hey, Pokemon.
Hey, it's on my list.
It was my first anime ever.
I love Pokemon, and like I would say I almost like it as much as Digimon, but
It didn't stand the test of time
it's
as
just
well.
the later series. Like if they had made it more okay, has anyone else ever seen the Pokemon Black and White 2
Oh, yeah.
trailer?
Oh, yes.
Okay,
Yes.
if that is what the anime was like,
Yes.
Pokemon would be amazing.
Oh, everybody be watching it.
See, that's my problem. Is Digimon's a better TV show? Like Pokemon's a better franchise as a
Yeah.
whole, but Digimon's a better show.
If
Yeah.
if they geared Pokemon more towards like older teenagers or even adults,
You realize how much money
oh
they
my
make?
Well, that's
gosh,
what
it would be
Digimon did.
amazing.
They make so much more
That's what
money.
Digimon did.
They need to stop having Pokemon stay as a kids show. Just stay as a kids
And
franchise.
the concept of it's darker too if you really get into it.
And
so.
just
Come here, Misty. We need
They-
to have a chat in bed.
Not like that. They need to make it. They need to do what the team for Avatar did, The Last
Frying
Airbender.
pan.
They took Avatar: The Last Airbender, which was more of a kids show, and then they evolved it into Korra,
Because
which
they knew
is
the
more
audience
of
has
a,
gotten older. That's
yeah.
us.
Yeah.
So that's why I
So-
wish Pokemon would do that.
But
Maybe
the
they
problem
are
with-
for all we know.
Exactly.
But the problem
Isn't
with
that the-
Pokemon is it just keeps getting new kids. So then you're forced to be stuck
see,
in it.
the
You'll
only
never
thing-
grow up.
But you don't have
The
to.
only thing that's bothering me about Pokemon is now they're getting to the point of the most ridiculous Pokemon. Like I stopped caring for the first gen, really, or second gen.
Oh,
What's
I'm
up,
a
Karen?
Yeah.
No,
Trubbish.
but that I'm sorry, I have to disagree with
No, don't get
that.
me wrong. New the Pokemon are awesome. I just didn't. I only played red version and only watched
Okay.
the animated.
I'm a
second.
third gen.
People
third gen all the way.
who say that the Pokemon now are unoriginal and stuff. I'm sorry. Look at Grimer. Look at Voltorb. Look at Ekans. Ekans is just a purple snake.
and Snake backwards.
That's it. Yeah. Oh.
Well, see, the thing is, I'm not saying they're unoriginal. I'm just saying like Garbage-Mon and the ice cream thing that I saw.
Yeah,
I was like,
I-
what? But the
What?
new stuff, X
Yeah.
and Y look awesome. Don't get me wrong. I still like them. I just don't play the game.
Yeah, you
so
have to
I
admit
wouldn't know.
that some of the newer Pokemon are definitely showing and it's not even so much with the Pokemon themselves, but just some of the designs and things. Like I like the more hand drawn looking designs of like the original few generations.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's all like digital and like CG and stuff, and it doesn't look as good in my
Still,
opinion.
I mean, the first like
But-
3 or 4 gens I did like, but I just only played red version, so I have a heart for the original 150.
All right. So it sounds like we've come up with our honorable mentioned list. So I'll run through it here real quick, and we'll narrow it down to 10 of them. Right now we've got Pokemon, Trigun, Code Geass, Madoka Magica, Digimon, Black Lagoon, Gurren Lagann, Kids on the Slope, DBZ, Neon Genesis Evangelion, Soul Eater, Cowboy Bebop, Death Note, Gurren Lagann, Ouran High School Host Club, Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex, Samurai Champloo, Fooly Cooley, Rurouni Kenshin, One Piece, Fate Zero, Baccano, and Paranoia Agent.
If Gurren Lagann is not number 1, I'm pushing for number 2, 1 or 2.
Okay, well,
I was about to say Gurren Lagann's
I say
gonna
for
be
right
on the
now,
list.
let's focus on
What's on the list?
getting it down to 10 items, and then we'll rank them after
Okay,
that.
I say Gurren Lagann's on it.
Gurren
Gurren
Lagann.
Lagann has to be on it.
Gurren Lagann has to be on.
All right, that's 3. Are we doing this by majority, by the way? Is that how we're voting for this?
Well, yeah, like for these early ones, like we can agree: Gurren Lagann, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Cowboy Bebop.
Dragon Ball Z.
Well, we'll get to that. Cowboy
Whoa.
Bebop and
Matt,
Full Metal
Matt.
Alchemist Brotherhood can all be on
I'm
there.
actually pushing
Probably
for Ouran
One
High
Piece,
School
too.
Host Club.
I support you.
Because
And,
I'll support
all of
Dragon
you
Ball
are
Z's
one.
in there. I don't
Most
care
of you
what
are One
else
Piece
Is
fans.
this democracy?
Nah, man, this is animeocracy.
Animeocracy. Okay, so we got Gurren Lagann, Cowboy Bebop, and FMA Brotherhood as for sure picks.
I say we just raise our hands and say, I like this.
Well,
We do a vote, yeah.
One Piece?
okay.
One Piece.
I love One Piece.
Mark.
He's waiting for
Well,
it.
okay.
Mark's
Well,
No, I know. No,
I could
go.
I could see it as a number 10. I would concede that, but
the
it's
expanse of it alone.
yeah, the problem for me is just because of the whole fact that it is a shonen series. You know, it does like when it gets into those filler arcs, like it does get into the slow bits or like where they extend out whole chapters in the manga into a single episode and add in a whole bunch of stuff and just make things go a lot slower. That's what makes me resistant to shonen animes in general.
I understand that, but for one, I don't think just because of its genre, it should not be included in a top 10 list. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And also the fact that it is a show that can make you emotional about things that you just not just the ship, but also if you remember when Usopp for a short time quit the crew. I don't think anyone saw that coming. Obviously, unless you read the anime or read the manga.
The anime.
Sorry,
I read anime.
I watch
read
manga.
read the manga.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, and that there's a lot of emotion in that anime.
What gets me about it is I've only watched a little bit of it. I watched the first 20 episodes back when Funimation did this was awful compared to what it could have been, but I still liked it.
It was not Funimation. It was.
What
That
was
was
that?
4
4
Kids.
Kids. That was it. Yeah.
4 Kids. Now it's
Funimation's
Funimation.
Good. Yeah. What I meant
Okay.
4 Kids. My bad. But anyways, what impresses me is the fact that it's so long. There's filler arcs, sure, and it dipped a few points, but it still stays original. It's still this good and still getting better after X amount of episodes. That's
The
fantastic.
filler
to
arcs
me.
aren't very long. The maximum
Yeah.
filler arc is only 8 episodes.
That's what I'm
long.
saying. The fact that it's still this original and this good, this long, that gives major points. In my
And
opinion.
there are some filler arcs that are actually really good.
Okay.
G8.
Yeah, I would agree. Okay, let's say this. Let's say One Piece is on the list, but it's at a lower spot. It's not in the top 5. It's in the bottom 5.
I could see it with within at number 8.
Okay,
I can see
yeah.
it.
So
Yeah.
bottom
I'm gonna
5.
push
Not
as far as I
bottom
can
5.
to see Dragon Ball Z in the top 10. Doesn't need to be top 5, but I want to see it on top 10.
Listen, Kenny, we're gonna have a talk here. I love
There's a coming
me,
to Jesus talk coming over here.
I love me some Dragon Ball Z. Don't get me wrong, but I do think nostalgia's blinding you a little bit
It is
too.
not. I've watched the series and reread it. I
Quality.
still love it all the same.
Kenny, this is where you cry and then you get what you want.
I'm not crying. I'm gonna fight for it like Goku would. I will make sure this is gonna get on the top 10. I don't care if it's 10. I want to see the
All
top
right,
10
fine.
list.
Let's put it to a vote. All in favor of DBZ staying in the top 10, raise your hand.
I can see it. I at 10.
Thank you, Andrew. You are. Thank you,
at
guys. You
10.
guys are wonderful.
All right, so
Boom.
Mark, Kenny, and Andrew have decided.
And Mark.
Like 10 is high as
I'm
I
okay
think
with
it
10.
goes.
10. I just want to see it on the list. All right. I
right.
don't need to vote for anything else. I'm good.
Okay, fine.
What's on the list so far?
All right. Right now we got Gurren Lagann, Cowboy Bebop, FMA Brotherhood, One Piece, DBZ. That's where we're at right now. Okay, I want to go ahead and push for Madoka because that's the one I really wanted to see on there. Brilliant story, who else? I mean, you've seen it.
I did.
Mark, you didn't see it, did
Nope.
you? So you're the only one here who hasn't seen it. But everybody who's seen it can agree it's a good
Yeah.
show.
It's fantastic.
Good.
Yeah, it's
I
great.
wouldn't put it in the top 5.
I put it like 6 or 7.
6 or 7.
Okay,
Okay.
I'll concede that. So Madoka.
I'd say.
You keep pushing everything under the top.
Well, 'cause
under
we're-
the 5. What?
I would say Soul Eater definitely deserves to be on it, or at least argued over, because I really like Soul Eater.
Well, one I definitely
Mark,
think.
it's
Soul Eater is really good. I do feel like as it goes, like I really love it up to like around the middle point in the series. Like all of that I think is great, and then into the second half, it starts to feel like it's retreading some of the same ground.
Admittedly, the very end did kind of make me upset. It's so convenient. It's disgusting.
The only reason I'm going to say no to top 10 is because the ending left me with such a bitter taste.
Well, it was so convenient. It was stupid.
I was like, the whole show was so good, and then you ruin it with one episode.
Yeah. It's like, oh, by the way, we forgot to mention this. And I was like,
yeah.
And then it's just like, and I was like,
no.
yeah. So, I mean, I was thinking we should talk about it because it's on the list.
Okay.
So, I mean, I would admit it's probably,
Yeah.
Honestly, I would put it at like 11 or 12,
Yeah,
but
ixnay on that.
not
we're
top
already
10.
we can only have 4 more shows on this list,
shucks.
so
Okay.
we got to make them count. Personally, I will probably. Oh, jeez, this is hard. What about? I'm looking at Fate Zero and Bakano right now. Like of those two, do we think either of them deserve to be on the top 10? Because both of them were in my top 10
In my
that I
personal
wrote
top 10,
up.
Fate Zero is there, so I'd push for that.
I'd push for Fate Zero
Because that
for
was
sure.
That
fantastic.
seems like the kind of thing I would get into because you said Ryder's kind of like Kamina.
Ryder is
mad
the best
respect for
character
Kamina,
ever.
So
It's just
Yeah.
the fact that the animation, the writing was brilliant in that show. And Ryder's speech, just Ryder in general. Ryder,
Yeah.
animation Ryder. Ryder's the best.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, Fate Zero is like the animation is great. The story is great. It does have a distinct flaw in the last episode because it has to lead into Fate Stay Night, and
Yeah.
it doesn't explain a lot of things that happen. The ending does jar
laugh.
for a lot of people, but
That evil laugh.
but,
jelly.
but when everything leading up to it is like so good, I'm willing to
That fight
forgive
between
that.
oops, just forgot their names.
Kirei and Kitsugu.
Yeah, was my favorite. That was so good. It's like triple so good.
Okay,
Jutsu.
so it sounds like we've got 3 votes here for Fate Zero, so we can throw that one on there. So
I
we've
just want to see what happens when I mention it. Ava.
I don't want it on.
I know
there.
it's just
I don't
us.
want it.
It's my favorite, but yeah, it's not gonna
like
get
I
on
said,
there.
I told you, Kenny, I'm not pushing it.
No,
I'm not
neither
gonna-
am I. I'm just
I'm
gonna
sorry,
say it so
that's
we can
just
say
me.
get it
Yeah.
off the list.
You just biased because you've got a roommate that hates it.
It deserves an honorable
but
mention.
It's everything that I hear about it.
Hey,
do you know what I mean?
You gotta see it before.
You guys
I'm
see
just
it.
gotta give it a shot.
I feel bad for judging it despite not seeing
No,
it.
I got
but
you.
nonetheless, just
Yeah.
all the negative things I've heard, it's
yeah.
It doesn't
It's
matter.
you have to.
I'm
it's
still
a
gonna watch
selection
it though.
thing.
I'm gonna give it a shot.
spoilers
No
for,
fist pump for
hold on,
you.
spoilers for Ava. I don't want to see an anime where literally everyone dies.
That's not true.
No thanks.
Well, not
Mo-
literally everyone
do you know-
dies. but-
Okay, except everyone in the world except 2 people.
Except 2. Yeah, come on,
Okay,
man. There's
there,
2.
there.
Every other
Yeah.
human being does.
I'm sorry. I will take away the literally part and say where everyone dies.
Oh.
I mean, Shinji does pull off a really.
Can I just say, I was watching an anime review of the end of Ava because I've never actually seen the entire movie before.
What?
And oh god, how can you forgive Shinji for the first scene in that movie? Like,
That is pretty bad.
it's terrible. How can this guy be your protagonist?
Yeah,
No,
and you know
it's-
what? You know when that aired in the first anime conventions, that was everyone like clapped. That was
That made me uncomfortable when I saw
Wait,
it.
people
When I-
clapped? Why
before
would they
that,
be
just because it's shown.
His first ballsy move.
No, it's not his ballsy move. It's just
No, it's
it's
not.
showing that his character is just breaking down even more. The point is, in that film, he is an unlikable character. I will admit to you, Alex. I mean, I don't even like him.
The
And
voice.
it's
Nobody
just-
likes Shinji.
Yeah.
The voice actor hates him.
Yeah,
He especially
Shinji's own
hates him.
voice actor hates him. But my
to
point
see
is,
him.
what's enjoyable about that show is just the fact that you see someone who tries to get better
And
in
fails.
life, and he fails, and he goes to the point where he just goes down this dark path, and then for some reason, because he's the lucky pilot, he gets to choose: does humanity get to live, or does humanity get to die? And he
And-
chooses death.
I know. That's the thing. He did kill man created God almost. So
Jeez. But I will say though,
That's
for as
intense.
much as I dislike Ava, I did watch Ava 2.0, the film, the rebuild
The
film.
films, I would
and-
actually recommend Mark that way too.
Yeah,
The
because
films are different.
I've been trying to
I still
tell.
have to see those.
I've been trying to tell Jeremy to watch it because Shinji in 2.0 is quite a different character from Shinji in the TV show because he does do his whole Shinji thing where he runs away, and he's depressed and gets mad and refuses to pilot the Ava. But in this one, he actually finds something that he wants to fight for, and that actually makes him relatable, and you can actually cheer for him and actually be like, okay, he's actually a protagonist. He's actually doing something. He's actually not being emo. Thank you, Shinji. I wanted to get up and clap when that finally happened near the climax of that movie. So,
I just wanted to see it.
anyways, so Ava's off the list, but it gets honorable mention. It's probably like a teens as far as ranking.
What about Death Note?
I'd like to see Death Note on there. I mean, the second half of the show definitely isn't as good as the first half, but it still is like really brilliant up to that point, and the ending is really good.
I won't fight it being on the list, but I will say that I just never got into Death Note, and it just kind of bothered me. I
It
don't
felt
know.
overrated to me after a while.
It was
Again,
not,
it's more of this dark, depressing
but not,
stuff.
Yeah, but not just that it was overrated, but just the fact that it's like, oh hey, this guy's like, I can kill people whenever I want. Oh, I can be a good guy, and then just slowly,
I can become God.
Just slowly, you can eat, even from the first episode. I'm sorry, I didn't mean slowly. I meant quickly. You can just be like, wow, you're gonna go crazy, and lo and behold,
You did.
Yeah.
See,
But-
honestly, I never liked what's his name either.
Light?
Not Light.
L?
Yeah, I never liked L.
Yeah, I think L's a cool character, but I don't really like root for him
People's
that
obsessed
much.
with him. I'm like, why? He's
Like,
not even that cool.
It's cool seeing Light and L battle
Oh, yeah, I
their
mean, that's-
intellects
yeah.
against each other, but themselves as like human
see-
characters, like they're so smart and so eccentric.
They're
That
above
they
everybody.
Yeah, it's sort of hard to identify with them because they don't feel human. They're so like beyond.
yeah,
us.
I mean, the thing is, in their fights, remind me of the Prince of Tennis. It was ridiculous. Just arguments
oh
inside
my
the
god,
tennis
I'm
episode.
not
Just
gonna
take a
I'm not
right
gonna
curveball
push for
to the
that.
side.
I'm not gonna push for it to be on the list. But oh my god, Prince of
Prince
Tennis.
of Tennis. He's
It's
like a right
so
curveball to
funny.
the side court, but if he does that, I'll juke him out and do this. I watched it. He thought for like 2 minutes.
If you like shonen and you like tennis, watch
Prince
it.
of Tennis.
Oh, it's so funny.
I actually
Shonen
enjoyed it,
tennis.
but it was so. It reminded me of Death Note, how intense they thought, and I was like, oh my god, there's so much in tennis I did not know. So, I really hope that people in tennis watch that.
6, 7, 8. Okay, so we're at 8 shows right now, so we need 2 more.
I heard Oregon High School.
I want Oregon High School Host Club on that.
All right.
I would say for a shoujo category, I mean, okay, what do we have right now at the bottom of the list?
We've got like DBZ, One Piece, Madoka, probably Fate Zero.
I don't know. How would you
Death
feel
Note.
of putting DBZ at 9 and putting it at 10?
I'm alright
I
with
would
that.
I'd be okay with Oregon High School Host Club at 10
I'll
because
do it.
because it's I don't know, like I love it because like it appears to be a shoujo, and that's why I was really nervous to
Yep.
watch it because I'm like, this looks really girly, it looks kind of stupid.
I watched
I don't
girl
know,
shit.
I didn't want it, but then like the characters are so funny, it doesn't even seem like a shoujo. It's just a comedy.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's actually a lot of
I do-
character depth you can go into that. Do you remember the twins?
Yeah,
Like,
that was so sad. Just the
I don't. I haven't seen the show, so I can't judge it too hard. However, at least for me, 2 that are off the list right now that I would personally like to see on there: Trigun and Code Geass.
Trigun I
At the
could
very
go
least,
for.
Trigun.
Yeah, Trigun.
Trigun, I would say it. Believe it or not, a lot of people give that series crap nowadays just because if you look at the animation of it, it's not that great. But the concept and like I saw it 2 years ago, and the point is, I still really enjoyed it. I didn't care if the animation
Like-
had some nose
yeah,
dives.
the-
it was still
How long? It was in the 90s though when it was made, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I mean, the
but
animation
it,
wasn't
but it had a
supposed to be the
cheap
best.
budget.
Yeah.
as well.
So for what they pulled off with the budget's
Yeah,
fantastic.
the animation isn't good like that great in that show, but like I think it makes up for it in style. Like just looking at that opening, or all the shots of him like with the orange on his sunglasses, and that red jacket. Like
I could see
know,
I could see Trigun being at like 8.
yeah, I could see. I could
Solid
concede that.
Trigun.
So
Is
we're
that
low.
all?
We're
Is that
low.
10?
Everything's going to
So-
the bottom of the
No,
list.
one more.
All right, yeah. So we got Trigun on there. So are we saying Oregon High School Host Club should also be on there? Some other shows we have here that have been left off: Black Lagoon, Kids on the Slope, Standalone Complex, Fooly Cooly. Fooly Cooly is one I'd personally like to see, or Paranoia Agent. But I know other people here aren't as big of fans of those as I am.
I know you really like Fully Cooley, but like Gurren Lagann's my favorite, and even for me, Fully Cooley was too weird. That is saying something.
Yeah, that's
intense.
It is weird, but I don't know. Just something I've gone on to on this in older podcasts that you can go listen to and hear me talk about it in depth. But I do love the story that's.
Don't move.
Keep
What,
going.
did I
keep
have
going,
a hair
Alex.
on my?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just keep going.
Don't listen to Kenny. He's
Okay.
crazy.
I don't know. I love Fooly Cooly, but I can see how it's a little bit too weird to put on a top 10. So I'll concede that. And Matt and I are the only ones here who have seen Paranoia Agent, and he doesn't like it, so that's not going to get on. I would really like to see Code Geass get on there. Personally, I really love that show.
I only watched the first 5
Because-
episodes, or else I'd pull for you.
Because you have to admit, Matt, like I'm sure Owen High School Host Club is a great show, with good characters and good comedy. But like thinking of shows like that have like had a huge impact.
I would still
on,
put Death Note over Code Geass.
I could concede that, but I'm saying Code Geass could be number 10. Because Code Geass came out and had such a huge impact on the community in general, and it's not
So
on the
what
same
if
level.
we bump everything up a number?
Yes.
So bump everything up a number. So what is it right now?
Well, we don't have all the numbers yet, but
Okay, but, like-
we put Code Geass at 10 basically.
And DBZ will be 9.
Yes, DBZ
And
would be
then
9.
bump everything up. So that would put One Piece at like 7.
I'm gonna
Wouldn't we
argue-
put Madoka at 5?
I was gonna
So
say
that would put Madoka at 4. That just basically
I think
bump everything
number
up.
1, I'll vote for Gurren Lagann because that's what it sounds like
Yes.
unanimously when I watch this. I know it'll be my favorite,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna say that's
All
probably
right.
number 1.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. So I'm going to start ranking them. So right now we got number 10, Code Geass. Everyone agree on that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Completely.
Okay, number 9, Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, I thought Orin was going to be 9. I thought it was going to be second last.
Wait, what we wanna say?
Well, right now, okay,
Okay.
right now, our top 10, as we have it now, is Gurren Lagann, Cowboy Bebop, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, One Piece, Dragon Ball Z, Madoka Magica, Fate Zero, Death Note, Trigun, and Code Geass.
Well,
That
you
is-
went really through
Wait.
that real quick. Slowly go number 1.
Sorry.
I thought
Well,
we added Orin High School Host Club.
It was there
Well-
was that or Code Geass.
Yeah.
Mark is not happy.
Okay, hold on. We'll debate on this in a second. And these
Get your
aren't
axe.
these aren't in order. These are just the 10, and we'll rank them as we go here. So it's Gurren Lagann, Cowboy Bebop, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, One Piece, Dragon Ball Z, Madoka Magica, Fate Zero, Death Note, Trigun, and then Code Geass / Ouran High School Host Club. Right now we're debating on whether Code Geass or Ouran is more deserving of the number 10 spot.
Let's just start putting the numbers with them now. Let's start labeling numbers, and we'll see which one doesn't get the number.
Gurren Lagann number 1.
I agree with Kenny.
I'm putting Gurren Lagann
Yeah,
at number
yeah,
1.
yeah, yeah. Okay, Gurren.
I haven't even seen it, but I agree.
Well, that's 3 votes for Gurren Lagann at number 1.
So,
What would you want at number 1?
Well, my favorite is Brotherhood. I would either have Brotherhood or Bebop at number 1
I would
personally.
I
put-
could see Brotherhood at 2.
I would see Brotherhood at 3.
I see
3?
Bebop
okay.
as 2.
Okay.
I could,
Okay, you know what? I guess I'll side. If Gurren Lagann is 1, then that means Bebop is 2, and then
And-
I'll put Brotherhood as 3.
Yeah, I could
I'm
definitely see
okay.
that top 3.
I'm okay with
All
that.
right, I could concede that. So
I need to shake this on.
we got Gurren Lagann 1, Cowboy Bebop 2, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood 3.
Solid.
Okay. Then after that, we've still got. What were some of the ones? We've got Death Note. We've got Trigun.
I would say
Fate,
Trigun.
Fate Zero, Madoka Magica, One
I would
Piece.
fight for Trigun top 5, but I'd say 5
Oh.
definitely be Noka Magica.
I'd personally push for Madoka to be number 4 because it is a really good show.
I could get behind that.
I mean, I'd say it's either Madoka or Trigun for number 4.
I
I'd fight
never
for
watched
Trigun
Trigun,
before.
so I mean,
You know what? I've seen
so I guess I
Trigun, and I actually really like that. So I'll push for Trigun for 4.
Okay, so everybody who wants Trigun for number 4, raise your hand. All right, that's 3,
Madoka
and then
5.
the two
yeah,
Andrew and I wanted
yeah.
Madoka for 4.
I can concede to Madoka. I like.
All right,
Madoka.
So we were
fine.
top 5 though. Solid top 5.
So yep, Trigun at number 4 and Madoka at number 5. I can concede that.
Ba-ba-ba-zing.
Okay, so then we've still got Fate Zero, Death Note. I'd say probably Death Note at number 6.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know
Fate
it's
Zero,
like-
I go
I know,
7 though.
it's-
Solid
I
7.
personally
it's
would
not my
flip. I
thing.
would personally would flip it with Madoka, but that's just me.
Well, that's just you.
Fate Zero deserves 7.
Oh, this is me, Mark.
Yes. Number 7 being Fate Zero. Then I think after
Fate-
that.
Oh, but One Piece.
Oh, there's one.
Where's One Piece going,
Personally,
Mark?
haven't seen
I would
One
I
say-
think One Piece is getting snubbed, Mark.
No. I'd say
Mark, get
Fate
angry.
Zero 7,
Okay.
One Piece
Video
8.
hatred.
I'm okay with
He
that.
will use
Alright.
his wood
Okay.
chopping powers.
Did you hear that?
What? You have the-
He just agreed to it.
Yeah, no, I like. I'm
fueling the fire.
I'm okay with One Piece being at 8.
Okay, and then at 8 we have One Piece, and so at number 9 then we have DBZ,
It's one more than I hoped. That's
you
all I
go.
can care
and
for.
then number 10 we have Ouran High
Debate.
School Host Club or Code Geass.
Okay.
So
Battle lines are drawn.
There it is.
I haven't seen either, so really, wait, what was the other one?
Code Geass, Ouran
I've
High
seen
School
5
Host
episodes of
Club,
that. Ouran High School, I've just heard it's funny.
Yeah, I'm with Kenny. I've only
I have
seen
a
5
law
episodes
school,
of
so-
Code Geass,
and
so
I've
I
seen
can't.
all of Code Geass and the first episode of Ouran High School
So
Host
do you
Club.
want to see something on wall scroll? or something
I've
funny?
seen about 8 episodes or so. I think I think 10.
Of
10
Code Geass?
Of Code Geass, yeah. And the thing is that I like the main reason why I like Ouran High School Host Club so much is because it's one of those like few like slice of life animes that I really like because it focuses so much on character development that at first you're like, like first episode, Matt, I don't know if you agree with me. Like first episode, you're like, oh, these characters are kind of silly, and you can easily see the archetype. Actually, they're named archetypes. Like literally, one of the characters are like they're like, this one is the cool guy. These two are the funny ones. Like this one, do you know what I mean?
Right.
But then
That's
later,
awesome.
as the show goes on, they go past the archetype and like go more into, oh, well, why is the character like this? What's their past?
And I'm sure it has some depressing backstories.
Yeah, some depressing backstories, but it's majorly a comedy. So it's a comedy, but with really good character development and some kind of, like.
And see, I can get behind that because recently I've watched nothing but depressing shows. Like I've seen nothing happy recently. That's why I'm excited to watch Gurren Lagann.
Okay.
But
Now, allow me to build a defense for Code Geass. Then.
Okay.
Okay. So,
don't use your Geass. If you use it, I swear.
if I do what?
Use your Geass on us, I swear
If
that's
not-
cheating.
Oh, I will also say I did not get connected to any of the characters in Code Geass.
Okay.
Me personally.
Fair enough. And I didn't get
He had a
connected
cool
to any of the
helmet.
characters in Nora in high school. So,
Dun, dun,
even
dun.
Okay, but that was the first episode, though.
that's true. I only watched the first episode.
Okay.
Didn't hook me, I guess. So for Code Geass, what I found so interesting about it, like we brought up Death Note earlier, and how you mentioned how you couldn't like relate to Light at all, because in the first episode he says, "And I will become the god of this new world." He's
potato chips.
obviously a little off his rocker even from episode 1, and just gets worse as things go on.
Yes.
And Lelouch has been compared to Light because he's similar in many ways. He's sort of this villain protagonist idea. He's super smart, and he's got this supernatural power that he uses to try to change the world. So in many ways he's similar. But what I like about Lelouch that Light doesn't have is that, well, number one, Lelouch actually has a conscience. He doesn't like innocent people die in his plans, to rebel against Britannia.
Die when they are killed.
Exactly. Civilians do die, but he doesn't like purposely go out of his way to kill them or anything. And he does feel sorrow like when he makes a mistake and civilians die, or when like there's this whole bit where the parent of one of his best friends dies and he like starts to question whether what he's doing is right or not, And so there are several moments where he doubts his own path. And the whole reason he's doing this is for his sister Nunnally, who's blind and crippled, and she just wants to see the world be a happier place, a gentle world. And he's trying to build this world for Nunnally. He's doing everything for her sake. And he actually has friends both in his high school and within the Black Knights, organization, that he does care for. And, he treats other people like pawns, in his whole game, to take over the world, which is what's part of what makes the show interesting. But there are points, like I said, where he doubts his whole mission, and sort of questions whether, what he's doing is right. And I think that just shows a lot of interest in his character. And then especially seeing where he goes to in the second season, he goes from like basically rebuilding what he lost at the end of season 1 to losing it all to then...
See, I would like that show.
Have you not seen the second season?
No, like I said, I only stopped at episode 17,
Well,
so that you're giving me more of a reason to check it out.
Yeah, season 2, he builds up to this point, and then something bad happens, and things go downhill for him, and he
Did
basically...
he have bad credit? Did he have bad credit?
Yes, he had bad credit. And he basically gets to this point where he doesn't care about his life anymore. He's just focused on doing this one final task, to redeem himself almost. And things go in a different situation than he thought, and he basically ends up coming up with this plan to take over the world in order to save it, and he succeeds at it. And seeing something of that epic and scale actually come to fruition before your eyes, if nothing else, this show is super entertaining. It's paced very well. There's always things going on in the episode. They have this style of just flashing, and they'll go to a scene for all of 10 seconds and then cut back to something else. So the plot is always moving. There's all these different characters and things going on. So it's a complex show. That's part of what makes it fun. And it's like Death Note in that it's fun just watching. Lelouch, come up with these crazy plans. And I didn't even mention the whole rivalry Lelouch has with Suzaku, who's this best friend of his, and now they're on opposite sides of this conflict, and Suzaku believes on changing the system from within, and he'll change the world that way, whereas Lelouch, is opposing it from the outside, as almost as this terrorist organization. Their two ideals clash a lot, and that by the end of the show, they've both basically become hypocrites in everything they say and do. So there's just so much to digest in Gurren Lagann. Yes, it has excessive fan service that pisses
Gurren
me
Lagann.
off.
Oh, okay.
I did say Gurren Lagann. Sorry, Code Geass. Yes, it has excessive fan service. Yes, it does go a little bit Dragon Ball Z sometimes with the robots in season 2, where like they get ridiculous power ups. I didn't even mention that it has cool robot fights too. That's not really the reason why I watch the show, but it is there. So there's some cool action to go along with everything else.
Yeah, they have the grappling hook. That's what I liked about that.
And it does jump the shark a little bit, especially as it goes on to season 2.
Jumping sharks?
What does jumping the shark mean?
Not that this is a deciding factor, but one thing I will say is that we have yet to include a slice of life anime under our top 10, and I think that of all the like slice of life type. Know what's funny?
Azumanga
I just thought of another one that would be good, and I almost think is better than Ouran High School Host Club.
Are you going to say Toradora?
Oh! And on that note...
Yes, I do.
I know, because I remember you saying before how much you love that show, and we've never watched it, but I remember watching the first episode at a J-Con thing, and it looked funny from that episode.
Has anyone else here seen...
Is that the one with the song in it?
That's one I've wanted to see, though. Like,
With
I've seen
the
the first
song in
episode,
it,
and I was like,
that's
I can dig
sings that
this.
song.
Okay, well then, know what? For now, I will say put
Code Geass.
Code Geass in front because it's really funny because I was going to say of all the my argument was going to be that of all the slice of life animes I've seen, Ouran High School Host Club is my favorite. But now that I remember Toradora actually blows it out of the water.
Have you seen Azumanga Daioh?
No, I haven't.
Okay, I would definitely recommend that because that's personally my favorite slice of life show that I've seen.
Okay.
Dragon Ball Z is my favorite.
But yeah, so maybe sometime
Slice
soon,
of life.
we can watch Toradora,
Wait, question.
Yeah,
You know what?
I'd be game for that.
and then we could all say like what we think about it. and
In
stuff.
Game Grumps, what's that song he sings in Japanese?
Sukarimasho.
Where's that from?
It's from Azumanga Daioh.
Oh, it is? Okay, cool. Okay, I was wondering if that was
Did you watch?
Dekirukara.
Have you watched the show?
I've just seen clips from like Anime Hell and like other mashup things.
I see.
So I've never actually seen it. I just saw her hair go off and fly.
Yeah,
So,
But yes, even if Ouran High School Host Club is not 10, I do think that it is very good. So
Okay.
it would be like an 11.
I would concede that.
Code Geass.
All right,
Don't tell
so
Jeremy.
as for the that's true. He doesn't like Code Geass. But moving on, for our Shredded Cels official top 10 anime TV shows of all time, we have Code Geass at number 10, Dragon Ball Z at number 9, One Piece at number 8, Fate Zero at number 7, Death Note at number 6. Number 5, Madoka Magica. Number 4, Trigun. Number 3, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Number 2, Cowboy Bebop. And number 1, Gurren Lagann.
That's
Gurren
exactly what you have
Lagann.
to yell.
Your drill is the drill that will pierce the heavens!
Giga, a drill, break.
Is that what he yells in it?
Yes.
Yes.
Thinks he says it in English?
No, that's the Japanese, but still.
No, I'm saying in the Japanese he says English like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanna watch the dub just for that.
It's so
It's
it's awesome.
I can show you the
It's-
clip. It's pretty awesome.
Well,
All
watch
right.
this tonight.
So, yep, that's a pretty good list, I say. I don't agree with everything on it personally, but I got most of the shows that I wanted on this list somewhere. So
I got one.
Death Note,
you-
get out of my sight.
you got your DBZ on there, Kenny.
That's all I care about. That's all I wanted.
And it got pretty high actually.
Yeah, not too bad.
got one more than
I
10.
got my Madoka. That's what I really wanted to see on there.
Gurren Lagann one.
Gurren
Gurren Lagann one. That's what.
All right.
Um,
Well, this was a bit of an experiment for us because we've never really done something like this before, but I think it turned out pretty well. We got into some good discussions, throughout this episode. We were considering, doing a top 10, for both TV shows and movies, but since we're already a more than an hour and a half in, I think we'll settle with just this for today, and maybe on a future podcast we'll do a top 10 movies list, and we could get into this whole debate again for that. Sounds good to you guys?
Redline.
Saki.
Yeah, I was thinking about Redline. I obviously had problems with it when we watched it.
Oh,
Redline's
Redline's
one of my favorites.
Redline is already going to be on.
Are we
the
talking
thing.
about movies?
Yeah, movies.
Well-
We should have Wolf Brigade.
I didn't love Jinro, but I could concede Wolf Brigade because it is a good movie.
No, that's what I'm saying as a joke. I don't want it on there at all.
Good.
If Jeremy was here, he would
would break
definitely
me in half
he
if I
definitely
said that.
want that one on there.
But
But
no, yeah,
personally-
Mark. Oh, I gotta bring that over so Kenny can see that. I've
Redline.
not seen I haven't seen the English dub of it yet, and I've heard it's fairly good.
Of what?
so-
Of what?
of Redline.
What's Redline?
So good.
It's basically
Cause I want to see the I just want to watch the visuals now and like not read the stupid subtitles.
it's basically a show where like
I'll show him a trailer. I'll just show you a trailer. And it's
Okay.
the most awesome thing you will see.
We will talk more about this on the movie podcast.
yeah, it's visually like completely stunning. Like it'll blow you away. Let's just put it that way. Real quick, just something I wanted to mention. For next week's podcast, we are going to be doing Sword Art Online. Gretchen posted a thing in the Tech Heads Facebook page about having a movie night sometime this weekend. I don't know when she's planning on doing that. But I had suggested maybe watching Sword for Truth, and they seemed receptive to that. And Matt and Mark both know of just how interesting that particular show is. So for those of you who've been wanting to see just how lovely and terrible that movie is, there's an opportunity for you if that ends up happening. So, all right. So thank you guys very much for listening to this episode of Shredded Cels. You can email us at techheads@avwproductions.com. You can follow us on Twitter at techheadsoU. You can like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on iTunes, give us some good ratings and reviews. We love that sort of stuff. You can also go to avwproductions.com to read our blog, AVW Media on YouTube, in order to watch all of our videos. All sorts of good stuff. My Twitter is at Darth Schmitz. Andrew?
I don't have the Twitter.
All right, Matt?
I don't have a Twitter either.
Mark?
My Twitter is at mgoldsmith, MGOLSMITH.
And Kenny?
Kenneth _McNulty.
You sound so happy, Kenny.
McNuggets.
That's how I caught up with me.
All right, so thank you all very much for listening to Shredded Cels episode 24, our top 10 anime TV shows movie debate, and we will see you guys next week when we talk about the show Sword Art Online.
Peace out.
Okay, I love you. Bye-bye.
Touchdown.
This product is copyright AVW Productions 2012.